Okay, it might be working now. Come on, Patriots, cross your fingers.
What am I supposed to do if it says live streaming? Do I go to live stream?
Oh, it's
Just
working.
accept it. Accept it.
It's working, yeah. I'm watching myself. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
It was working.
Let's see if we want to see me. No, we don't want to see that.
Why is it only me, though?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
I can't see you.
I can see Joe.
Bug eyes.
What's up with the bug eyes, buddy?
Oh, there you go.
The
Look
bug
at my hair,
on.
I
man.
see Joe now.
Oh, my hair looks good.
Very good. Melita's on. Very
Mhm.
good. Now you guys are getting it.
But for everybody to be able to see me, I have to hold my phone.
Okay, I'm gonna close this down. It's working. This meeting is, I got it. Okay, very good, very good.
So you figure it still says live.
Where'd Kevin go?
I don't know. I admitted him and then he left.
I don't know. He was hot there today.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get your food ready soon.
Can you guys hear that in the background?
No.
Popping noise.
We are live.
Yeah.
Like, we're live. I don't hear nothing. Now you.
What do you mean hot?
Oh, the hissing sound? That's probably Mavi on the Instapot releasing the pressure.
Yeah, make sure when Mavi speaks that she gets close to that mic because we'd like to hear what she has to say.
All right. I think we're good. Can you guys hear the YouTube in the background? No,
No.
right?
No.
Okay, so then I think we're good.
It
Yay!
sounds good to me. Everything sounds good. So.
All right, let's see, okay.
Okay. Yeah, somebody did leave. There was an extra person here just now.
I meant to tell, well, you guys start a topic of conversation right before I started recording, before I figured all this out in like the last hour. You were talking about stuff and it sounded interesting from what I could hear. And now
We were talking about impeaching Biden and impeaching Harris and forcing Pelosi to move up the ladder and letting somebody else become Speaker of the House by appointment of the Congress, which would be a majority of Republicans, we hope, and then impeaching Pelosi. Getting her ass out of there.
That would be nice.
Yeah, and then you know what happens? The Speaker of the House moves into the presidency, depending on who she would have as a VP.
Oh no, we can't have that idiot for president. No way.
I don't think she'll live that long.
He doesn't even look alive.
He put 1 foot in the grave. Swear to God. They're as old as dirt.
Well, there's so many things wrong with our politicians staying in office for as long as they do and getting paid as much as they are and redirecting our money to wherever they feel.
So they can get kickback.
And it's all kickbacks. It's more than kickbacks. They have taken over our economy.
And kickbacks are against the law.
Yeah.
They are definitely against the law.
That's
You are not allowed
payouts and
to
bribes by any other name.
Hundreds of money through an outside source in another country or a bank account that's offshore.
Greasing the
Hello.
palm, so to speak, is what it's called, I believe.
It's time to get rid of the FBI. It's time to shut
Oh, yeah.
down the IRS hiring, and it's time to put term limits in. Bingo. Those three things.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. And I think, I think we need to go in there. I think some things that are inside the House and the Senate that these people are doing need to be cleaned out, such as that sex slush fund. That needs to be destroyed. Okay? They do not need to have a sex slush fund. If they're going to go around touching women like that, they need to pay for it out of their own money, not with
How do we
mine.
even,
I don't go around touching women like that. I don't do that. I've never done that. My God, that's horrible. I don't think other women like it.
The other
So,
thing is I want Epstein's list revealed. I would
yes,
like to
that
see
too.
Epstein's list.
Hey, you notice how they haven't rated anybody on that list, but they've totally rated everybody on Donald Trump's team's list,
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
and including Donald Trump, the
what
former
Epstein's list
president.
revealed. I wanted publicly put out.
Yep, these people need to
So
serve
we
some
know
time
who
in
these guys
jail.
are.
This stuff has gone on way too long, and they need to be held accountable. It's like everybody says, nobody's above the law. Shut up.
Carol,
there's a lot to it, a lot more to it. There was a couple of things that Trump said that just,
But you know what? Here's the thing about that, Carolyn. There's really not that much to it. This is our country. It's not theirs. This isn't their country.
well, that's the thing. They don't follow the foundation. They don't follow the Constitution, which is
They
the
don't.
foundation of our society.
Well, I'm saying this is our country, not theirs. Fuck them.
I love how he kept saying crazy Pelosi.
Yep. She's crazy. She's out of her mind.
He was just,
and Adam, and the other one too, Adam Schiff, he's nuts. That dude is completely bananas. You know that,
No,
right?
watermelon head.
It's
I
nutcase
don't think
Nancy.
she's crazy, guys. I think she's drunk all the time.
Yeah, she's pruned. She's preserved. You know what I really liked? A lot of people call Republicans that don't particularly care for Trump, they call them like never Trumpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trump yesterday said always Trumpers. I like that much better because I don't like negative words.
Yeah.
Why say not if you can say I can, So I thought it was pretty brilliant. I would have picked a better terminology, but
I
always
know
Trump.
and I understand that you don't like negative words, but right now I think that kindness needs to be thrown out the window when we're dealing with this. This is not about kindness anymore.
Well, I'm
This
not.
is about life. This is about life and preserving those that we love and our way of life. Because if not, freedom is gonna go out the door, and we're gonna lose it.
Well, the other thing I think we need to do is we need to break up the monopoly of media. I think these people that are doing Google and Facebook and Instagram that are doing all this, they should be punished.
I couldn't hear you at the end there. Melita, what did you say at the very end there?
I said, I think that people like, Instagram and maybe Facebook and a few of the other ones, they need to be regulated in some fashion. We need to bust them up. They need to bust up. They have too much control. They shouldn't have any. Not like this.
Nope. What I truly believe is that Trump
But
has
get rid of
control.
the FBI first.
Oh,
The
there's Jerry.
FBI's got to go immediately.
All the three-letter organizations have to go.
CIA.
The KKK, CIA, SNA,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
FBI, BITCH, whatever
I'm tired
We
of
all
them
have to.
blaming us for everything they're doing. I'm really tired of that.
I also think we need to stop funding the United Nations.
The United Nations is a joke. Here's Debbie
Yeah, it's a
Latimer.
group that meets in New York that tries to see everything that goes on. They're just as corrupt.
Yep.
Very good, guys. We
Well,
have
let's
people
pay the bill.
stopping in.
We're
Okay.
paying the bill.
Yeah,
Is
and you
Kevin
just,
getting
For
in?
all of their corruption, we're
Okay.
paying that bill. And we're
You
paying a
just got-
hefty price. And all this money going to Ukraine. Why do they need so much of our money? And if we're so broke,
Okay.
where are they getting all this money to send to them? That's what I want to know.
This is the
Where's all this
problem.
money coming from?
They're taking all of our taxes. Everything
Yeah.
that's why the IRS is getting so, because they have nothing else. They don't have the Federal Reserve anymore. I totally believe, now let's go into the conspiracies a bit, that Trump has the control of the Federal Reserve. If he does, that's money that the cabal, the Illuminati, whatever you want to fucking call them, they can't touch it. They can't touch that stuff.
Oh, they
They
can't
can't.
touch them now anyways, right now. They can't do anything to them. They can't go any further with the stuff from Mar-a-Lago.
What do you mean, Mar-a-Lago?
They can't touch them with the paperwork that they stole.
Yeah, no, they can't. The thing is, the Pentagon must have it. There's no doubt in my mind, whatever they're looking for, the Pentagon has it. Because from what I know, up to this date, Biden is not allowed certain information from the Pentagon is withholding.
Yeah, the
Omitting.
judges said, well, we're not allowed to look at that information. We can't look at that information. There's no way we can look at that information. There might be private information in there that we're not allowed to look at. So how can we look at that information if there's private documents in that amongst those other documents? So they have to find out if it's declassified or not first.
It's something they'll
There's
never
no-
give to.
It's never going to
There's a
go
war
anywhere, you
going
guys.
on.
Yeah,
There's-
it's never going to go anywhere. They can't do anything until at least 2023. And at 2023, when we do finally take over, we'll dissolve that piece of shit committee anyways and throw it in the trash and maybe and hopefully hold all these people for treason. Because they have committed treason against us, you guys. Even some of those Republicans that are involved, they have committed treason against us. Especially Obama. He's the first one that did it blatantly when he sent that plane load of cash to Iran. That's treason.
But that's what I'm saying. They keep saying, we have to go after the 25th Amendment and try to get these people. No. You're not going to get it. Would take years. And he'll run again before.
No, you don't have to impeach him for, you know what? You don't
No,
have
it's
to impeach him
simple
for the
treason
25th Amendment. All you have to impeach them for is failure to perform their number one duty, and that is to protect our borders.
That's within the Constitution.
That's
Security
right.
is within the Constitution. Correct.
That's right.
But it also says any one individual that commits treason. This is in the Bill of Rights, I believe. Any one individual that commits treason can be, guess what? Yeah. Like Trump was saying, you know what? He's absolutely right. I'm not for or against the death penalty. I certainly wouldn't want to be the one to pull the trigger or the switch or whatever you want to say. But it's got to end.
Maybe
gotta
not.
end.
There are plenty that would want to. So,
Yeah, I know. Like, you know
let
what?
them do
It
it then.
depends who's sitting in that chair. I'll tell you that. Because baby killers, anybody that hurts a child,
Yes.
at one
Some
point
people.
would believe an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You know what? You stick that thing where it doesn't belong, and that thing gets cut off. Bobatized. Ooh, that's coined.
Not in this liberal world we live in.
Oh no, who cares? Who cares what they do? Let's just take, there is such a thing called citizen arrests and citizen control. And we are soldiers when it becomes, we obviously have a communist in office. Trump said it all but yesterday. He was like, it's not even socialist. Stop calling it by the fake name. I've been
That's right.
saying it for years. Socialism, communism, Marxism, blah, blah, blah. It's all the same shit. So we have a communist in office. It's time for, we are now soldiers. We're active soldiers.
They're definitely fascists in my book.
Oh, it's more than fascism now. Fascism is, it's like an idea.
They're performing everything. They're performing out of the playbook of the Nazis.
Yeah, yeah. I
Every
think,
move they
I
make
think,
is.
I think everybody has forgotten about the angel of death when they sit there and they talk about this genital mutilation of these kids and shit when they're like 2 years old and shit. Now, if you go way back, they've been doing this shit before Hitler was even born.
Yes,
Hitler
yes, sir.
took it a
They
long
sure
way
have.
after that.
Part of the same thing.
I'd love to sew some of these fuckers' heads together and watch them run around, see what the fuck they do. You know,
Mhm.
That would
This
be
is-
interesting.
yeah, it would, you know. It's like Slayer sings in their song, just a matter of time till you rip yourselves apart, you know.
I'm just so sick and tired of their tyranny, of their lies, of their bullshit, and of their blaming. God, it's just too much already. It's like, come
Well, you
on.
can't, the point is that you can't get tired of it. You got to get used to it.
No, I'm not going to ever
and
get
once-
used to that shit. No way. I
No,
refuse
no,
to
no,
get used
no.
to something like
No,
that. No way.
not in your mind, in theirs.
Mm.
You gotta let them think that you're complacent. Meanwhile, you watch them on the
No,
underside.
it's time to fight back and destroy this nastiness that they call normalizing. Bullshit. Fuck, that's
Well,
nasty shit.
These woke fuckers are starting to feel the pain now. I've been
They
hearing
are.
more. I've been hearing more shit about God in this past month than I have in 20 years when it comes to government and the news and the media and all that shit. I've heard more mention about God, and I'm like, wow. You know, these guys are going Christian now. What is this, the Crusades all over again?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, here we go. You know, and now we got this guy who's going to threaten nukes, which he can't do. He can. You know, he probably would wax his own people, but I don't know. I'm kind of surprised the way that Putin's moved his people in.
He's not going to send nukes against the country he's trying to annex. That would
Yeah,
be
I
stupid.
don't understand how he wants to destroy all the shit.
I think he's doing like Jer said has said that I think he's looking for land that annexes him to that that part of the sea. I think that's what he's doing. That's what
Well,
it looks
yeah,
like to me
he
anyway.
just wants passage to the Red Sea.
Right.
That's or the Black Sea. That's all he
Mhm.
fucking wants.
That's what it
all he
looks like to
wants.
me. That's what
But you
Jared
know,
says.
it's
I agree with Jared on that
I
one.
think it's kind of funny how he would send those guys in with all that artillery and shit and blow up shit like that steel plant and now that nuclear power plant. I'm like, why is he gonna blow that shit up? He's gonna need it. I wouldn't blow that shit up. I'd take it over. If I was Putin, I'd be taking that shit over. I wouldn't blow it all to hell.
Yeah, see, that's why
don't
some of this
exactly
stuff
know.
this doesn't make sense, because strategically, if you're a strategist, you're not going to do stupid shit like that. You're going to, like Barney says, you're going
Which
to want
means
to take
what?
that stuff over.
Which means what? It
Well,
means
see,
that it's not what we think it is.
Right. We're being
They're-
told lies. Propaganda.
there's an analysis saying that it's possible Putin would sabotage Nord Stream pipeline and shut it down in order to increase prices on the exports of his other oil
Exactly.
and, you know, and have Europe under his
Mhm.
goddamn claw.
That's
But-
why I don't think we did it,
and
because
so-
then it would cause more stress, not only on us, but on Europe, our other allies.
So what
So I don't
he's
think we
done,
did.
All of Americans tax, all of our taxes, Biden's taking, and he's
Mhm.
giving it to the Ukraine into those, you know,
Why?
bio.
Why
It
is he
doesn't
doing
matter
it?
why. It doesn't matter why.
It
Putin
does.
is
Yeah,
destroying.
it does. Yeah, it does.
Well, yes, but the fact is, Putin knows why, and he's destroying them because of it.
Well, he's
Right.
playing the game. The 82nd Airborne's been in Poland since last October. They've been waiting there. Infantry, special intelligence, whole 9 yards. I know guys that are over there. But what he's doing is now that he's annexed that property, he can officially say if NATO moves against him and Russia has to pull out and they take that property back, then Russia can call that an invasion on their territory. See?
Yep.
Because it's
Sure
signed.
can.
It's signed on a stupid fucking piece of paper.
Mhm.
Okay. 98%. All right. So you're an 80-year-old fucking woman that's got her shit all blown to fucking hell, and a Russian troop shows up at your fucking door with an AK and a whole 9 fucking yards and says, sign this fucking thing saying that you want to be a Russian citizen. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna check yes because you're fucked anyway. So oh no, here's our vote. We got 98%, we got 86% down the line. So now they can officially say that if we make moves, if we send more shit, $16 more billion worth of shit to the Ukraine, when they come and they invade the properties that he is said to have annexed, he can declare that as an invasion and therefore justify his action with low-scale nuclear warfare.
Right.
That's what he's doing. He's trying to play the little fucking chess game.
Haven't they gone
Exactly.
to? Haven't they gone to Scandinavia? What's
Oh,
in
they're all-
Scandinavia, friends? What's there? Not just chocolate,
Oh,
not
that
just
whole
good watches and clocks and stuff. They've
whole-
got money.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have the Swiss banks. And
We got some
money.
resources. too.
Yeah, natural resources.
Mhm.
That's what this game is about. It's
Oh
natural
yeah,
resources.
Ukraine definitely has a lot of natural resources.
The lithium for all these fucking batteries and the Chinese.
That's their
with all
game.
their shit.
Uranium, lithium. Because I think Wayne probably knows this, that isn't uranium in the batteries too, in lithium. Am I
Not
wrong?
uranium. Lithium's in there. Uranium you wouldn't want to play with.
So
No.
what do they use? Oh, uranium is just for nuclear weapons.
Yes. Yeah.
You're thinking of cobalt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cobalt.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
Nuclear
cobalt.
power
Yeah.
plants, guys.
What?
They need it for the nuclear power plants.
Right. Well, yeah.
But see,
Hi.
it's funny
Yeah.
that nobody mentioned what's going on in the Middle East, which is a very hot bed. There was some Syrian intervention with some dudes from that were in a boat from where the hell were they from? The Sudan, I think. And they brought
Yeah,
that in.
everywhere we were has erupted in chaos after we pulled out of the Middle East the way we did.
Yeah, see, we've got
Joe
Israel.
Biden showed America's weakness because you have to remember something. We're only as strong as our weakest opponent, ally,
Right. Is our weakest link, right?
as our weakest link, and Joe Biden is a weak link.
Yeah, he is. But
And that's how strong we are, you guys, because of him.
fortunately, we've got enough guys in the Pentagon, 4 stars that have been on the ground. We have had boots on the ground where they take the Biden administration and they bring them to pass. They
But-
can't sign the final order on it, but they tell
But
them
you have the black woke general in charge of the
Yeah.
Pentagon, and
They'll
that guy's
tell
What's his name?
freaking
What's his
nutbag.
name? Joe? What's his
I don't
name?
remember.
Mean Joe Green.
No, the guy that's in charge of the Pentagon.
Yeah, he's in charge, but he's not like.
Oh, it's not Shelton, is it?
Hi, Debbie. You want to say anything? You want
I'm just listening to you guys.
I'm sorry.
That's
No, I
okay.
just want to see if anybody else wants to say anything. Like Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hi.
How's it going down?
Roy J. Austin III, Secretary of Defense.
Oh, that's who
There
it
you
is.
go. Yeah.
That big, tall, black dude.
Yeah.
Man, what a
Secretary
nutbag,
of
man.
Defense.
God. That's a guy that would take a look at somebody and say, even if they were telling him the truth, he would look at you and say, "You're lying."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an ugly person, man. I don't like that dude.
Yeah, see, I liked it when Shelton was in under Clinton. He was my battalion commander when I got to the 82nd. Okay, so he was my battalion commander, and then he took on the brigade, and then he took on the entire 82nd Airborne Division, and then he went to Florida to some ops group. And the next time I saw him, he was standing next to Clinton. I'm like, holy shit. Boy, could that fucking guy run too. He was like 6'6", something like that. He had a pair of legs on him. He had a set of Class A's. It must have took 6 guys to put that uniform together.
Wow.
He's seen more shit than the entire world. And if there, the only thing that he said, the only time he was ever scared was when he was trying to limb a tree and fell off a 12-foot ladder onto a fence. That's the only time he was ever scared for his life. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So I listened to everything that guy's got to say, but nobody else does. Like Colin Powell. I loved him too.
I liked him.
And,
I actually liked him, even though he was actually liberal minded.
oh yeah, he
did like
was,
him.
but he
Mhm.
played it right. He played
Yeah.
it right. He made sense,
He did. Well, he was actually a Democrat.
Yeah, but it didn't matter.
Like the
because
woman
he
from
played it
Hawaii.
right. Didn't
Like
matter
the
what
woman from
party
Hawaii
he
who's a
was
real
in.
Democrat. She's a real Democrat. She don't agree with what these guys are doing, these liberals are doing. Because they're not
Like,
doing it right. They're not playing the game right.
what the hell was her name? We had Margaret Thatcher, and then who the hell was our chick there? Damn, she was hardcore too. Shit.
Which one?
Hi. Coming back to the current situation.
Kevin.
Hi. On this change of government in Italy,
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was good.
that woman
Dun,
is
dun.
Yeah.
that woman is also a Nazi come fascist cow, and they are classing her in the media as being conservative and right wing. She's not right wing. She's a fascist.
Is
She's a
she
pro-
really?
She's a Mussolini follower.
Oh no.
Oh, man, really?
How do you figure that?
And pardon?
What's
did you
your
find that out?
examples? How do you compare?
I've got a
Mussolini?
video of her making her speeches about and being pro Mussolini. She's been an activist since she was about 19.
Oh, jeez.
Steve, we
And
can be
then-
misled. We can be. As simple as
Yes, you
that.
can.
Although I
Oh,
think
no.
in general,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
I
I'm
think-
looking for comparisons to Mussolini. Of course, I'm open minded. I'll listen in.
Well, I'll put it on the site there. The other thing is that
Thanks,
the
Kevin.
same person was pointing out that no one has beaten Russia ever in history in a winter war. And he's
That is actually true.
playing silly buggers in the Ukraine with obsolete weapons because the stuff that he's been sending there is not their latest tanks.
Right.
And he's only now got this mobilization of 1 million. And the opinion that was expressed was that he's got his eye on a few of the other non-NATO countries that used to be part of the old USSR. And
Right.
he's busy with expansion. And the other problem is Sweden and Norway are two unknowns. Norway was against the rest of the Western world. They were pro-Hitler.
Yes.
And Sweden is a big question mark as well.
Right. There's pretty much neutral in Sweden.
No,
Yeah,
they're overtaken
come
by
out?
Muslims.
Yeah, they came out and they threw all the Muslims out.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yes, they
They-
did.
Yeah. That
When?
being true. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's true.
When did that
Mhm.
happen? Did I miss
Bush.
something?
Shit,
Yeah, they threw
what,
them out a
10?
couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's been quite
They
a
threw them all
while.
out. They said,
don't
Pretty
want-
fuck you.
kick out
Hmm.
a religious civilization.
Yeah,
made sense.
it's basically religious profiling is the reason,
Yeah.
because they didn't want to deal with any of the Muslim terrorist bullshit,
The
Mhm.
only
whether it was
people-
right or wrong in their mind, but that's how they took it, right or wrong. They said, we don't want to fucking deal with it if it's true or not. Stay the fuck out of our country. That's
That's
what they-
right.
And the other
They
big
don't
big
want your
unknown is the new leader in Britain.
Yeah.
In
Not
where?
really- in
Yeah.
the UK.
Mhm.
Is another big unknown, and it's just all these power changes are coming all at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Are you referring to Liz Truss?
Yeah.
Yes.
Also a big
Well, they're
unknown.
billing
and
her
then,
as
of
a
course,
conservative too.
yeah, and then you've got, of course, you've got the other hidden danger point, and that's that woman from New Zealand.
Yeah. Oh, that woman is terrible. She's horrible. That
That
woman
thing
is
is,
absolutely 150,000% Nazism or communist or whatever you want to call it. She's bad for
yeah.
the
total totalitarian.
Totalitarian, yeah.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarian, yeah. Yeah.
Totalitarian. Yes, she is.
And that country has gone backwards in the last.
Yeah. That's what they
3
want
years.
to do. They want to take us backwards.
That's it. There's more people, New Zealand was a country of choice for
Mhm.
immigration.
Yep.
There are more people leaving New Zealand now than are arriving.
Oh,
The
God.
natives.
Oh,
of
where's
New
Jill?
Zealand are
Jill has a
leaving.
cousin in New Zealand.
That place is so beautiful.
The people of New Zealand are leaving because they're being overcome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you see. It's like they're trying to push the United States with the open border. Now we're going to get it is the shit that's going on with our southern border is an open door. I mean, they're emptying Venezuelan prisons and shit and sending them up here.
Yeah.
So,
But you need them to. You heard Nancy. You need them to pick crops, man. Just take them in.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. There's some working sons of bitches, boy.
Yeah.
They
Just
Yeah.
are.
don't send them
Yeah,
north.
you know what? Hey, man, they're going to take over everybody's freaking job. Trust me, because you know what? I live in New Mexico, a border state. They have taken over the roofing business, the concrete business. And let me tell you
Fighting.
something. If you don't speak their language, you don't have a chance of getting a job with them.
Yep.
Right now, they're taking over the welding business.
Joe, I have a question for you. Well,
What?
actually, I have more of I want you to tell us about your reverse racism, your experiences in reverse racism. And
When I go into the stores, every time I go into a store now, and I live in a predominantly Hispanic, or I should say Mexican neighborhood in Albuquerque. I have a white name, but I'm half Hispanic. And I walk into the store. I've been going to the store since they opened the doors, and since the very first day. And I have now every time I walk in, they have these Mexican. They're not Hispanic. They're Mexican security guards, and they follow me everywhere I go. They double team me. I'll be going down the aisles, and one of them will be on one end of the aisle and the other will be on the other end of the aisle. I've even shown everybody on Zoom that they're doing this. They follow me. When I turn around and I look at them, they act like they're putting stuff on the shelves.
Yeah, they're stocking shelves. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's obvious. You're the
So-
security.
So
You're
fucking
following me.
obvious. Yeah, it is.
And tell
It's
them about
very
your,
unsettling. It's very unsettling. I mean, I'm an older man. Now I'm 61. I have an artificial knee. It's not like I'm gonna run away from you, you know?
But you know
I
what
don't
they're
know what
doing?
they're doing.
You know what they're doing? They're following orders. They've got a
Yeah.
job and they pull
Yes.
security. I mean,
Right.
I've done that before, and I'll sit there and I'll watch them scanning me. And so, oh, fuck it. And so I'll start zipping around the store. I'll make it look like I'm stealing shit. I'll get them on a full fucking run. The last guy, I was hiding in a goddamn one of those circle things that are fucking Walmart where they hang all the fucking clothes all the way around. I hid right in that son of a bitch, watch him run by. Then I got up and I got out and I started walking around and finally caught up to me. He's like, can I help you, sir? And I was like, I'm waiting for tires. And he was so pissed.
I keep having that, the Robert Townsend, remember that, the comedy I put on, Robert Townsend?
Yeah.
Nigger, aisle 5.
Yeah, you gotta play it, man. When you ain't got no choice, so have fun with it. Fuck it. There's no sense in getting pissed. You can't.
I almost said the word.
Yeah, when I called them out, when I started talking about it real loud, a lot of the customers turned around and were looking right at me. Like, what are you talking about? That can't be happening.
But it's also like paperwork and stuff, right? Because
Mhm.
your last name is kind of a white name.
It's Brasher. So no, it's not Hispanic like everybody else's. So if I go ask for help, it's like, no, sorry.
Take
They
out the
find
B.
some kind of
Take
reason.
out the B and put in a T and see what they do.
But it's
Yeah,
not,
right.
Right.
TH. Put a
it's not like,
TH.
it's not
TH,
like,
yeah. Take out the B, put in a TH.
okay.
Wait, what'd you say, Jared? What'd you say, Jared?
Your clothes, your
Jerry's-
boots, and your
he's muted.
motorcycle. Give them to me now.
Yeah.
Jerry, do you realize you're muted, or?
Yeah.
We know what Jerry's doing. The inside scoop.
Wow.
Take pics or it never happened.
But yeah, it does. It happens. Yeah, I mean, it's that racism shit happens everywhere, and it didn't used to be like that here, and like when I grew up, my parents didn't allow us to be racist against anybody because my dad's white, my mom's Hispanic, and my dad, we had it didn't matter. We had everybody come over to our house. We had them stay the night. I mean, it didn't matter what color they were. What color they were. Everybody stayed in our house.
Well, my best friend is Hispanic. His name's
Yeah.
Baltazar Perales.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
there you
hooked up.
go.
We hooked up in airborne school. I was stuck in one room. He was stuck in another, but he was playing Iron Maiden, and I went to see who in the hell's got some real music.
Mhm.
It was him, and then we hung out. And I've got pictures of his kids and my kids. We've been best friends ever since. He retired service combat medic. He's out in San Antonio somewhere.
My mom's maiden name is Valverde,
No.
but we belong to the Quintana family.
Your family has been here forever.
On both sides, my mom's family has come up here longer than 400 years ago.
Yeah, but they did it legally.
Yeah. And then my dad's
On
side,
the Plymouth, you can't get
Well-
more legal than that.
my dad's side, we came on one of the other ships with the Mayflower.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's why I meant they went to Plymouth Rock, right?
Hmm. Yeah. My
Santa Maria.
my grandfather, Ephraim Brasher, lived next door to George Washington.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah, George
wish Jill was
Washington's
here.
address was 1, ours was 2. You can look up the Brasher doubloon. That was a coin that my grandfather was trying to sell George Washington after he became president.
Okay.
We have a lot of people in our group with some great historical
Mhm.
backgrounds.
What, up in Mount Vernon?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Joe's.
Yeah. Well, we came over on we were in the first year. We were here the very first year when the natives tried to kill us off. You know, they tried to kill us off. It was very cold that year, supposedly, and we almost all died. But we were saved when that second wave of people came from England. You know,
Yeah.
The
followed
pressure
Spain.
sperm has succeeded.
Been here ever since.
I've been through Mount Vernon. That's pretty wild.
I don't know if the house that my grandfather lived in is still standing or not. I don't know anything about that area. My dad moved, or his side moved towards St. Louis, and then my dad came down here to New Mexico when he was in the military.
Well, where did our foreign friend go here that had some Middle East or some?
Okay. Okay.
Where did he go? Is he still here?
Who?
Me. Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. Is looking
I'm
for
just
some more
listening.
Did you guys try out that thing that Patch downloaded about the COVID bullshit?
Where is Patch too? I
Yeah, I
told
don't know where he
Patch.
is. You guys try that?
Probably about to suffer from paintball. If
He
you
had
Not
some
yet.
he had some kind of link about the UN release about the COVID, what they found, and it was all shit. And it said right on there, do not put this on your main page or you will be banned. I'm like, all right, let me try it. Bloop, bloop, bloop. It couldn't have been 1 minute. 1 minute. And I threw it on that David Barnhart profile. Threw it on there. I said, fuck it, let me try it. And it wasn't 1 minute. And they hammered me 30 days. Boom. Your shit does not comply with our you could be causing a problem in the health industry and the welfare of our people and shit like that. Wow.
I
Really?
have my
Tell me this isn't government control. You know, I was like, ooh, it did work.
Here's my question.
Pow.
Did you change the name of it and alter the color?
No, I didn't do shit. I copy pasted it right onto my profile page.
If
Went
you
right
do
on
that,
me.
they don't get it.
Oh, see, I don't know enough about it to do all that, but I tried it anyway, and then boom, yeah. Sure enough, 1 minute, 30 days banned. Pow, like that. I'm like, yeah. This just goes to prove the point that they're watching every fucking thing we do. They're taping this conversation, you know?
Well, they can do that all they want.
Yeah, you know, I ain't scared. Come waste your time and your money. Come get me. You know, steal my identity. Maybe you could do something better with it. You know?
There's a reason they call it
Bring it.
metaverse now. What a lot of people do not realize that big long number on Facebook pictures is the meta tag to it.
Oh yeah, you know, it's just those people in the UK, they'll sit there and they've got the best researchers in the world over there, and they're willing to release the shit, and they can't shut them up quick enough, and that's why they keep getting blasted or disappear. You know, we've got physicists sitting there in Iran trying to help them out with their delivery of a nuclear weapon, and that's why they can't deliver one because it's all the U.S. that's in there trying to help them do it. So they fuck up the prints, so they can't deliver the shit. You know, and right, we get all the help from Israel, you know, because we're hanging with Israel, you know.
Mm.
But then this shit with fucking Russia, now this is so asinine. It's like playing a game of Risk. I mean, come on. It's so obvious of what's going on. I can't believe it's not obvious to the people that are watching it happen that believe both ends of the media. You got to listen to the media from both ends, then go up the middle. You got to listen to it. That's kind of like why I like the Fox network, because they'll bring on Democrats and Republicans and let them rip each other apart. Then you sit there and you listen real close to all the shit they're saying. And then you're like, woo. You know, that's why I like these guys. But, you know, so you go in and you look at the Brits and then you see what the hell it is they're releasing to their people. And then you can kind of get an analysis of somewhat. You know, there's public sentiment and there's reality. So you kind of try to put two and two together and you realize that the masses don't really understand what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
to-
displaying on it, you know. It's like throwing a freaking can of tuna into a box full of starving kittens. You know,
Oh, come on.
it's about the same thing. You know, watch them tear each other apart, you know, tying two cats' tails together. Remember that old one?
If you believe Fox, CNN, even RSBN, any of them, any news source, you've already
Yeah.
been analyzed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they sit there and they watch it. You know, it's like I joke all the time because I sit there and I'll pull up YouTube videos of from way back, like the Road Warrior and some old Dirty Harry flicks and shit like that. But then all of a sudden, I'm knowledgeable for young Vietnamese women that are looking for men over 50.
Wait, I'm not Vietnamese.
And you're like, click, click, click. Okay, like I'll take 10 of them.
I
please.
like men over 50.
So
I always like men.
I have all these people saying, well, I saw this on this news source. I saw this. They did this. Here's this report. Did you hear them say that personally? Did you hear
Yeah.
Putin say this?
Yeah,
Did the reporter hear Putin say this, or they're just ad-libbing and adding to the story?
exactly. Yeah, they just play with that, you know. It's kind of like why I like Fox is because they'll sit there and they're like, maybe this is a scam, you know, maybe this is all bullshit. Like that dude that had big tits that was teaching the kids in industrial arts class or shop or whatever they want to call it. Sitting there with a chop saw, but she's got like Mondo titties that there's no way in hell, you know, and it was just a dude. They're like, maybe this is all a scam. And then sure enough, he got the school board to come up bitching because that's all he wanted to do.
We should
They fell right for it. Like throwing a fucking can of tuna and a fucking pot full of starving kittens, you know, just bit
The
right
sad
into it.
part is those kittens will cut their lips and tongue apart going after it.
You're damn right. Kill each other all doing it. That's what they're relying on. You know.
All right. Let's go on to a subject here. Anybody has something on their minds from the Trump rally to I'm done with Russia, unless you guys want to really have something to say with it.
You ain't done. You ain't done with the Trump rally if you're not into Russia,
Sorry,
because
guys.
that's a #1 contention program right here, honey.
Haven't worked out on the front yard.
How
16
about the
billion,
death penalty?
another
The what?
$16 billion of our money is headed over there right now.
I know, Barney. What?
And I'm like,
What, Melita?
can't these fuckers
not
hit
really
anything?
I'm not big on capital punishment for the most part, but I do think that the drug problem should be dealt with what they call a quick trial. I think they should be taken out.
He's attacking the wrong person. It's not the damn drug dealer. You got to get the supplier. It's the
Yeah.
supplier that's the problem, not the
At
drug
the-
dealer.
At
Because
the
Well,
the drug dealer
border,
is just looking for the
I
for the
totally
high.
agree, but also if you're
Come on, man.
carrying into the cartels are getting rich off of us.
The
Our
border.
death.
the
Yeah, but
border.
if you take out the dealers, you have
You
no,
are the
you know, the suppliers don't have nobody to distribute it.
You
Half
get
a million
you get
dollars a
you
day.
take out the dealer and you kill one dealer and there's 40 more dealers ready to stand up and take over that guy's spot.
Half a
That's not
million
the problem.
dollars a
The
day.
problem is the supplier. Make no mistake of that. It's
China.
the supplier.
I
China.
was just gonna say, now I wanted to mention something during the
Look at
rally.
China.
I like reading on the bottom what it says.
But is it really China,
Well,
you guys? Is
wait,
it really
wait.
China?
It-
No, it is not.
Yes,
It's not
they've got the
China.
ingredients
It's
that
the
make that shit.
CIA.
They've
They're the
got
ones
the
over there in
ingredients that make that
Afghanistan
shit.
protecting the
They
poppy
have the
field.
drug factories in Mexico, people. They actually have the factories in Mexico.
We're the bad people, guys. We are the bad people around the world. It's our government that's doing all this bad shit.
It's
Make no mistake
our
of that.
government is
That's why
bad.
they're protecting. That's why they're protecting this country over there by
Right.
Russia so hard right
Joel,
now. Because we've been doing bad shit over there.
what government is good?
None.
So in general,
You gotta
Who-
have law, but you gotta have somebody, common man.
in general, then, Barney, who is running the drugs?
The people who running
Politicians.
Look at Fast and Furious, for example.
Politicians.
they're part of
Britain,
it. They're only part
Okay,
of
so
it.
we have governments,
It's the supply
all
line. Whoever owns the supply line.
178 countries. We have governments that
There's
are corrupt,
one
and
thing.
they're the drug runners.
There's one thing that they agree on. There's gonna be too many of us. There's gonna be too many of us. So they let that shit go. So
What do you
it'll
mean, like-
knock off a certain percentage of the population. Look what China does. What do they got? 2.5 baby limit? So if you have a third kid, it's like I was joking the other day about that kid that they flushed down the toilet.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
That was because they overcame their limit. And so they had that baby in that apartment with no medical attention and nothing, no doctors or nothing. It was all done in secret. And when she had that kid, she developed it. And then after a while, they discovered that the Chinese government was going to come down on them. So they tried to flush it down the toilet. That's what the whole point of the entire coverage was for, is just to prove that point. They want us all to die. That's why they came up with this COVID bullshit bioweapon. That's why they have bioweapons, because all of a sudden they can make it look like it's some kind of plague of the 300th century or what have you. But it's a big money grab. So they grab the money, they waste all the people because they're not going to be around to pay taxes no more.
Who believes in that? Who believes in
Worldwide government.
but who believes in the reduction of people? Who believes in depopulation?
The world. If you went into the back doors where the cameras are off, when NATO and the UN and all these guys all get together, they do that shit. They calculate their population, their birth rates, their mortality rates. And if you watch, every now and then they'll come out with, oh, the birth rate is down in the United States. Why is that? No, it's because of the economy. Nobody dares to have a baby. And so they just keep crushing the fucking economy. They haven't done nothing to improve it, have they? No, they're not doing anything to make it so women want to have more babies. They just make it more and more impossible for us to possibly do that. That's part of the scheme anyway. That's just one conspiracy theory. But it's not unbelievable. But you got to sit there and you got to listen to everybody across the board. And you're like, damn, that would be feasible. You know, it's like that, you know, and it's been known for a long time. You know, I forget that Denzel Washington movie or whatever it was. No, it was Falling Down. That movie's great. You ever see Falling Down with Douglas? It's perfect. It's perfect because it's about this guy that's just trying to drive home, and then the whole world falls down around him. He just wigs out. It's funnier and shit to watch. You got a dry sense of humor. But there's a guy out there trying to get a bank loan, and he's out there with a protest sign. He's like, not economically feasible. I can't get a loan. I can't buy a house because I'm not economically feasible. So they've known this shit for a long time. They made movies about it, but they suppress that shit. You know, artists and shit like that are the only ones that really know what the fuck is going on around here. The artists, musicians, the ones that express it and then get.
They're gonna kick this off of YouTube if you keep cursing and shit. I curse a lot too, but
oh well.
They're gonna kick us off. I just realized a few things that we didn't do right, but oh well.
That's just part of my language.
You,
I'm a grunt. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I think Patch is trying to come in.
Click on Gutfeld. I think they give him 8 swear words a night. I think he said. He can get beeped. He can get beeped 8 times a night. So you gotta watch it. It's funnier now.
Let them go for it. I don't care.
Gutfeld is funny to watch. It really is.
Gutfeld is really good.
He just eats up everybody at once. It's great. I love it. Laugh. I had to laugh at Dan Bongino the other night. He was on Hannity. He had Geraldo on.
That's Carolyn.
And he's sitting there and he's eating them up.
That's
Hi
Debbie.
there.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you
This
doing?
is my wife.
It's nice
Lucille.
to meet you.
Lucille.
Hey,
I'm here. Hi.
We're all here.
Talking about,
Joe's messing
Hi.
oh, it was Joe's birthday yesterday, right? We're gonna let Joe do what he wants to, Lucille.
Oh, no. He doesn't get to do that. No.
Yes, I do.
No. Don't try to say it. Yes, you do. No, you don't.
Not until you're 62.
Right.
Duh.
There's a limit. There's a limit, right?
Will you still need me? Will you still?
Yeah, Joe, your
feel
birthday is exactly
when
1
I'm
month before mine.
64?
Yeah, there you go. Check that out.
What did you say, Debbie?
I told Joe his birthday is exactly 1 month before mine,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, happy birthday.
because I'll be 61. I'll be 61 on November 1st.
Oh, special.
She's just a little kid.
Oh,
Why
Oh,
isn't
please.
she jumping out of the cake?
uh-huh. Now we know.
my birthday's just a little bit before yours.
I was 61 a couple of centuries ago.
Yeah, right.
A couple of centuries ago. I was negative 44.
It's
Yeah,
not the
right.
years, it's the mileage.
Well, not even 140. Yeah.
It's been a long road, hasn't it?
Tell
Well,
me,
this is
how, what about this, all these power crises all over the world? That's the latest control. You know, they're blaming it on the Ukraine war, but we've got it here. And there's about 6 or 7 other countries in Africa close to us that are suddenly developing power crises. And the best part is countries like Germany,
Mhm.
who has a problem, the UK, which has a problem.
yep.
United States has got a couple of places that have got problems, and they are giving us a grand total of 58 billion to go green.
Yeah,
But
fuck
they
that.
can't even keep
Yeah.
their own countries running. And guess what? We're supplying coal to the UK and Germany at a rate that we are actually struggling to get enough coal for our own power generation.
Right.
And everyone thinks, oh, great. All Biden's, what did he give us? 48 billion
How much?
in promises.
Oh, I'm promising.
Yep. And it's been proven that what they want us to do isn't working in their own countries, because Germany's put back, and Sweden as well, put back their gas, their oil-fired and coal-fired generation plants. So why are they pushing us to go green? And we've got exactly 50% of our generation plants are suddenly out of order. One of them, one whole plant with 8 generation units is out because there was something wrong with the water. So I'm currently without power for about 7.5 hours a day.
That's just unacceptable.
It was as high as 13.5 hours a day, on for 2 hours, off for 4 hours, on for 2 or 4 hours, off for 2 hours, on a bit, and then off for 4 hours. And that's the new form of control. It's killing the economy. It's pushed the food prices through the roof. And businesses are, what's the name? So they're busy killing our economy. And the same is happening in Germany, as starting to experience the same problem. So, yeah, it's just a thought that that's the new COVID didn't work here. They threw away, I don't know how many million doses because now everyone refuses to take the rubbish.
My whole theory on the whole new Green Deal is because what they're doing is they're trying to make sure people stay in their own little sectors, kind of like one of the movies. Oh my God, I can't even remember which one, but it's like, because you're not going to be able to go very far, because if you do, they're pushing the EVs, and like California over Labor Day weekend. Oh, don't drive your cars because it'll blow the power grid. These power grids aren't gonna handle everything being electric. Your house, your whole house. They even want to get rid of your gas furnace and stoves.
Yeah, the
Yep,
joke
and they're
is
burning the forest. Why are they burning the forest? Because we breathe what the trees and the flowers and the vegetation breathes out. They breathe what we breathe out.
Yep.
So what are they doing?
So I think their whole thing is making it to where people can't leave their own little areas.
They would try to control the world. They would play God.
Which is a form of control, because then they control where you can go, where you can't go. They get rid of fossil fuels.
That's what they're doing.
How are they going to make planes where they're all electric?
Well, the first one's having its test maiden flight now.
Okay, people, we're taking off. Oops, it's 2 minutes. Well, guys, we got to land and recharge.
Yep.
Yeah, can you imagine, how they refuel up in the air? Can you imagine the little plug coming out?
Yeah.
You laugh.
I know.
That's been years in development.
Yes. Well, they already have the electric
Nothing is
plane.
impossible, just
Where are they going to
impossible.
have another electric plane? How are they going to charge it? I want to know how they're going to charge one in the air.
Planes are making hang gliders.
They're not going to be able to charge them in the air. They're going to take off. They're going to be in the air for a very short time. Say, okay, guys, we got to make a pit stop and recharge.
No, it's as simple as a three-phase cord. They've already got it done. It's a three-phase cord, just the same way as they drop the gas out the back.
And that battery, that battery, that chart that they use, how much ground did they have to strip to get the minerals for that battery?
The last model I saw was out of a C-17. It's a giant cargo plane. When it goes over your head, you want to throw rocks at it because you can't believe it even can stay in the air. It's so big. C-17, C-47. It's all been, they've been experimenting with this shit forever.
Did you ever hear of like a floating island?
Oh yeah, but mostly they like the underwater ones because they launch subs from those.
People don't think these things are possible. They don't think that the weather, nobody can tamper with Mother Nature. Oh yes, they can. Nobody can be evil enough to take over.
Oh, people are wicked evil. I mean, we're wicked evil.
There's sciences out there that we don't know. The military is definitely over 100 years or so more advanced in science than we are.
I was inside the one monitoring station of NASA based in the northern part of our country, where in 1990 they were already modifying our weather. Experiment. And we had the worst drought in that area that had ever been experienced. Our dam had 0.18% water. And they kicked them out. They withdrew NASA's license.
Whoa.
And within about a month, we got rain. And 2 weeks later, the dam was sitting at 120%.
Yeah.
And I was inside that thing, and they had Learjets, and they went up, and that was just the basics. Went up and seeded the clouds, and beautiful thunderclouds started raining, and it just dissipated into mist.
Mhm.
And
There you
that
go.
was
The
Okay,
that was
military,
1990, and they've advanced a long way since then.
the military's been seeding clouds since early Vietnam.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Well, if
well,
they were doing that then, what are they doing now?
they let it sit. They let it sit. I long ago looked into because I couldn't understand why we didn't have a bomb that we could launch into a hurricane like the one that just hit. Something we could just launch in there and throw off the cyclone effect and dissipate the whole thing. We've had that technology for famous 5 decades,
I believe it.
but
I
they don't
believe it.
launch it because it's not economically feasible. It's like going to war. Even Clinton said that this nation has to go to war every 4 years to maintain its economy.
Well, Trump proved that
Clinton
wrong.
said that. Clinton
Trump
said
proved it.
that right up my
Trump-
eyes went, what did you just say?
Fucking wood.
Yeah. Most of them are clear.
Okay. So let's go on to a different subject. I'm sorry if I'm muting people, but I hear like too much crap in the background.
I'm
And
sorry.
okay,
Oh.
got a question to
I
ask
didn't mute you. Going doing.
Okay, what is something that comes out of flash that comes out of coal-powered power plants?
Flash?
Fly ash.
Oh, fly ash.
Coke.
What'd you say, Jared?
Coke.
What's a composition of fly ash? Is that what you're asking?
It has an incredible amount of lithium in it, but they're digging up areas they shouldn't have to.
Well, no, they could regenerate all that shit, but again,
you're
it's not
saying-
economically feasible.
I'm sorry, you're saying coal mines?
Basically, coal, when it goes into a power plant, it is ground up finer than talcum powder. That's why it releases so much energy.
Right.
And when those blast furnaces, the fly ash is a byproduct, which contains incredible amounts of lithium.
Oh,
But it's not collected.
But they could be
Yeah, exactly.
lithium.
But it's not economically feasible. In Glens Falls, New York, back in 1990, they had a plant there that you could take all your trash, didn't matter what it was, household trash, chuck it into this incinerator that would burn so hot that it would just turn everything into smoke. They had some kind of molecular deal going on where when that smoke went halfway up that smokestack, this flash would go through and molecularly change all of that smoke into steam and then release it into the atmosphere. And I was like, wow, that's cool.
that's
I was like,
crazy.
if we had those all the way across the country, we wouldn't have nothing to worry about. No more
Right.
pollution in the seas, but trash.
Why aren't we investing in
trash,
that? I don't get it.
Trash is big money. Big money.
Well, of course it is. And then
Well,
recycling.
they
If
can't
trash
get rid
wasn't
of it
enough, you have to
because
have recycling.
they have collection areas in New York State, and they got people that come up from Pennsylvania, and they'll pick up all of that trash and they'll truck it down to Long Island and chuck it out into the ocean. You've probably seen them drive by while you were down in Brooklyn. They're out there.
I've seen my share.
They're talking to a guy that runs it, and he's just a peon. He's like, I make $175,000 a year doing this shit.
Just a peon. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just a peon. Yeah, can you imagine what his boss is making? I was like, whoa, I'm in the wrong line of work, but meanwhile, they're just making more reefs that go right off coast of New York City. It just keeps it rolling.
Mm.
What a mess.
There's a lot of shit that I noticed going to New York. The ships, the evergreens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Boy, I
There are
never,
people
I
down
never
there.
even.
There are people down there and pay $500 for a skid of fieldstone. They used to come up and steal it off of state lands in upstate. Big operations. They'd come in with tractor trailers and forklifts. They'd drive up in the state lands. They're all abandoned. They'd come up there and rip down old stone fences, and they just piled them up and zing them up. And it's $500 a skid in the city, so everybody could landscape their property because they ain't got no rock down there apparently. Same thing with down here, down in South Carolina, big bucks. I was talking to a guy. I was like, I had a bust up. People were paying $500 a shot for a Christmas tree down here. And that was back in '94. $500 for a spruce tree. Just something they could put in their corner. And I said, I could make a killing. And my neighbor's like, you go ahead and you try. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, there's already guys that already figured it out and they'll blow you away if you get into their business. I'm like, okay, I guess I won't do that then. But there's big money and crap you wouldn't even think of. Big money. Nobody cares. They want their
All
money.
about money, 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 money,
Money,
money,
money,
money,
money.
money, money, money,
Yeah.
Money is the
money.
most evil thing on the face of this planet.
When it comes to the pines and all your evergreens, it goes back to one company, Georgia Pacific.
Yeah. There, yeah, you're right.
That's an old company.
Yeah, they've been around forever. Yeah, he's exactly right. Yeah, they're everywhere up there.
There are good and there are bad companies. I know that. I know Kodak.
Weyerhaeuser.
Oh, I gotta-
Yeah, Kodak. And I saw a plant up in Rochester. That's where the main man from Boston, the band, that's where he come from. He was an engineer for Kodak up in Rochester, and then he ended
Was
up in
it
Boston.
East something Eastwood Kodak?
Eastman.
Eastman.
Eastman?
Yeah,
Kodak,
yeah, Eastman. Yeah,
They're
Eastman.
on Trump's side. I'm not
Yes,
exactly
they are.
Yep.
sure.
Yes, they are. That's
Yeah,
a
It's a
you're
big
right.
conservative
deal.
group.
Something that they took over too is like a
Mhm.
big deal. I don't know.
This isn't the.
No, one,
God, that
one
was
of the
years ago.
Eastman,
I didn't know.
one of the Eastman girls was the one that was married to Paul McCartney.
Yes, yes. Right, he's right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. I'm trying to remember here. He's dead on.
I told her that. She came in there. Okay.
The one,
With
One of the
Equidine.
heiresses of the Eastman group
yeah.
Yep.
was Paul's wife. What was her name? The one that
That's what I'm trying to remember.
Linda? No.
Linda.
No, Linda was the one with one leg, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, was
Or
it
breast
her?
cancer. One of them had
Yeah,
breast cancer.
yeah.
One of them had one. I mean, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that was Linda, I think. If I remember correct. I
I
got
don't know. It
burnt.
doesn't matter.
I got burnt this last stroke I had. I'm still trying to get it all back.
We should actually talk about some music. It was supposed to be one of the beginning topics of the first show, but the first show just went so naturally. Kevin just began it so well.
Well, music and politics go hand in hand.
They absolutely do. These groups are warning us. Some groups are warning us of things.
Yeah, that's why I love Megadeth. Dave Mustaine. I love the way he writes. Straightforward, but he's got a way to put it. And
Yes.
he makes it rhyme. I met the guy.
It just makes it rhyme. It sounds good too.
Yeah, I
Tells
met
us
the guy,
truth and
and
it sounds good.
he is a freaking egomaniacal prick, but he's a really cool guy, and I went with him, and then I saw him later. Even Larry King from CNN had him on as a political advisor, and he had his own show. I was like, Megadeth
You
is
di-
on CNN.
Well, you know, you
as a
don't think that these
political
people are
advisor.
smart, but
I was like, really? I was
Yeah,
like,
some
I
of
don't
them are.
believe that.
like almost there's a lot of us on here that listen or have listened to heavy metal at one time or another, and we're all here. So
Well, I'm a big Beatles fan too. Big Beatles fan. Oh yeah. If you want to read into somebody, you read them lyrics.
nah, those Beatles never wrote music, and
They're deep. Those Beatle lyrics are deep,
oh,
way deep. like Pink
Brian.
Floyd, real deep.
That's
deep,
because
deep,
they
deep.
knew the truth.
Yeah, they did.
Brian,
It's easy to write when the truth is in front of your face, but nobody else knows it.
Brian May from Queen was a physicist.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
And then
They-
Boston, all those guys are engineers.
We
Yeah, the world lost a good man when Brad Delp died. Oh man, that sucked.
All right, but let's fit a conspiracy in here somewhere. Dwayne, do you have anything on your?
Conspiracy? Where do you want to start?
Oh, I know, but I want to see if Dwayne has something in mind because he's the one that always comes up with something.
Yeah, he's got some good shit.
Well, we all do, but is Dwayne even there? Dwayne, did you leave?
No, I got him on my feed anyway.
Yeah, but he might have got.
What else have we talked about?
Might have had to take a leap.
Have we talked about payback yet?
Payback.
Yeah, from what these people are doing to us. And they, I mean, come on, they wanted to put us in gulags, prisons.
The Republican Party, I think what's happening right now, we're gonna see what happens when these midterms roll around.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting to see because part of me wants to expect riots, and the other part of me knows that that's not going to happen because the right and the Republican and the conservative side are going to sit back. You notice there haven't been really many protests on the news lately because everybody's starting to rise up against this woke bullshit.
There are
And that
people
means-
rising up.
It's all government.
Yeah, but they're keeping it quiet, which is respectable, and I hope they keep it that way because it shows a hell of a lot more intelligence than it does
Well, I
painting
think
your
it's a
hair
little bit
purple and
both.
beating on a dumb baby and say, "He's killing my baby! He's killing my baby!"
I don't
You
think
know.
the media reports it, so it kind of goes.
No, they don't. That's what Fox rags on is what the media doesn't report. They think it's funny. That's what they go on. You're like,
Fox has been a
"They're right."
shame for almost 10 years. Terrible, terrible shame. And then when Disney bought in, I had like professionals tell me, oh, Disney, they're not going to do anything. They don't own Fox. I'm like, are you serious, people? They're part of ESPN. They're part of Fox now. They're all over the fucking give me a break.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney gone all the shit. Yeah, ever since
Disney is woke as all, but beyond woke because Walt was a freaking child molester.
do you see what Disney looks like now? Fox was running down through Disney World. It costs $129 just to get into that place now. And so they're walking down through, and all it is a bunch of scumbags on their telephones throwing trash all over the freaking place, and nobody's there to pick it up. It's a travesty. Nothing is sacred. Nothing. I'm
No.
glad I went there in 1983 and I've never been back because that was the opening of Epcot Center, the first time they ever opened it. Epcot Center. It was great. I loved it there. I'm glad it was $25 to get in back then. 1983. My grandma took me. She blew every dime she had to get me whatever the hell it was I wanted. Went there, SeaWorld. That was right when Jaws 3 came out. They had the robot Jaws that was there.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a picture next to that. It was cool as hell. There was a wax museum with a bunch of actors there too. It was
Welcome
really
back,
cool back
Melita.
then. Yeah,
Oh, there's some great places.
it's all gone now because
You
these
got
people
the
don't
Hard Rock over here. It's a nice hotel and casino. If anybody knows me.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Way my woman is casino.
But I loved Trump. Oh my God, I have such great Trump stories. When I first started dating John, we went to Trump Plaza because I had been there for a couple of years already, and we go for a weekend, and they were like, well, we're out of regular rooms, so we're gonna give you a suite. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, gee, really?
You know how much Trump charged us? Plus, he gave us food and drink. It was always, he charged me $2 in tax a night. So it was Friday and Saturday night. I paid $4 for a suite. I love Trump. I always loved that man. I seen him from the distance a few times.
When I stop and look for a minute,
Man,
he did that for you, right?
what?
And how did it pay off for him? Because you're sitting here talking about him. Campaign.
Trump's hotel
There
was one
you
of the
go.
better.
He is no idiot. Not at
Oh
all.
no.
He's a
No.
genius. He's a freaking
If he had
genius.
redone the hotel, but he didn't want to. I think he wanted out for a while. He wanted out of the casino business. He realized way back when that the casinos were legalizing in other places too. And I believe he wanted to run because he figured if Obama was the best we had, he had to do something. And I think so 2008, 2009, maybe even after 9/11, did he realize that maybe he would go into politics. You guys got to remember in the 1980s, Trump helped demolish along with the FBI, 5 major crime families in New York. Mafioso. And you know what? He's doing it again with the likes of Nancy Pelosi and Newsom and then Wheeler and whoever else. You like Cummings? Well, he's dead. They're all the same.
That's why he couldn't win in New York. Why he couldn't win in New York, because Cuomo was dead set against casinos in upstate New York. I know a guy that invested $10 million in the casino expansion.
What's the
upstate New
difference? It's
York.
right there in Queens. They have one in Queens and one in the Bronx now, I think.
Because there's this wall between upstate New York and the city. That's what the issue is there. And that's why, because all the votes, why they keep voting for the dumbasses, because all them votes come out of the city, not from upstate, because everybody upstate hates that freaking
All right,
city.
wait a second. First of all, the votes are not real.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
You got to stop saying like Democratic cities are voting. We have no
Right.
clue really what the fuck is going on because our
Right.
voting systems have not been real for at least
Forever.
2 decades, I'd say.
Ever since they went electronic. Yeah,
Right. Well,
that's the way everybody feels up there too. They don't believe in the system, and half of them don't even register. I'm shit. This is the first year I've registered since Wesley Clark and Ross Perot ran.
oh God.
Yeah, I wanted that team, an ex-CIA guy.
So did
and-
I. That's
and a
why I'm an
financier
independent.
Yeah,
Ross
for
Perot.
a financier for a freaking vice president made sense to me. You got guys secret government, and you
I
got
was 17 and I'm like, Perot understands economy. Oh,
Right.
he should be president. I was like 7. I don't know, but he
It's
didn't get
not
in because they didn't want him in.
This map does nothing but a giant sucking sound.
Mhm.
You hear your jobs being sucked out of America. Oh, shut up, Ross. Go back to Arlington, Texas. You're an idiot.
Nice.
I wanted
Go,
Ross.
Jerry, go.
I voted for Ross.
That's what they did
I
there.
was too young to vote. Just missed it.
Him and his big ears.
He treated that man very fairly.
Because he
Well-
wasn't part of it. He was also another businessman that
Yeah.
I'm beginning to believe that they tried to get him in. The good guys, right? The Q guys say. Our generals, the 200 generals
Oh,
after.
God.
That's how I like to put it. The 200 generals after Kennedy was shot. Probably tried to get Perot in. Probably tried to get 1 or 2 others in. And
His middle name should have been Trump.
You've got the Electoral College, and then you've got the Pentagon, and everybody in the Pentagon doesn't give a shit who you put in that stupid office, because all they are is a fall guy for the administration that's under them anyway. That's all it is. That's
We
all
have-
a president is, a fall guy.
He's a
fall guy.
figurehead. He's a figurehead.
Right.
Like why in the fuck does Biden want to go to Florida Wednesday to see what all's going on? Don't they have a TV in the White House?
Yeah, I
He's
don't
gonna
know.
pick up a leaf and his Depends are gonna rip.
Oh, this dumb fuck will probably go to Miami where nothing happened.
I said they should have put him on that C-130 Hurricane Chaser and let him do a smoke jump right into the middle of this shit. See how he likes it then. Of course, he'd have vapor locked before he'd even got to the door.
Now, sir, just stand right here.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll throw
Okay.
you out, asshole.
No. Just stand right here. Why is
Up to 5 and pull.
why is everybody strapping into the sides? I don't understand. What? The door is open. Suck his ass out the back of it.
Yeah, Ghost ride that bit right in there.
I
Pilots jump.
think we
Pilots
should
jump leave him in
create.
there.
I'm sorry. I think we should create. Remember our hangman the other day? I think we should create Biden's and continence pads. I think we would make a lot of money.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen
Hey,
air sell
hey.
on eBay.
Hey, I got a name for it. Brandon's Briefs. Just for you.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So if you want to drive across country without using the bathroom, just get some Brandon's Briefs.
Braves.
Comes with Velcro straps. Comes with Velcro straps.
Big glasses with
Blue
kaleidoscopes.
bows for boys, red bows for girls. I don't know.
Oh, there are no boys and girls.
Oh,
Little
right.
girls.
Yeah.
Little girls.
I always forget that. You know why?
Everybody does.
Because it's definitely forgettable. It's unmemorable.
What?
Patch, what would you do if somebody called you a girl, Patch? What'd you do if somebody called you ma'am? Hey, ma'am. Patch is like, what's going on?
Do you know how many cat calls I got with that hair?
You what?
You see that profile of my college ID there where I got all that hair?
Yeah.
Well, I had a nice tight ass on me too. I'd be walking down the street, guys be hooting and hollering at my shit. So I turn around, I got a mustache.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I used to get that all the time. I loved it. I thought it was funnier than hell. They used
I
to
dated
cut
a lot of long-haired, freaky people.
they used to cut- What'd he say?
I couldn't hear him.
Say again,
Back in the
Pat.
day when you had your long, heavy metal hair.
Back
Yeah,
in the day when he had his
yeah,
long
my
hair.
my hippie days. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to something else. This is a live. Let's
Agreed.
not talk about hippies. Actually, that
agree.
is kind of cool to.
I'm just here hanging out. What you want to go live about? Anything. I'm game.
Well, you know what it was? We had concepts, but honestly, when we just kind of bullshit, that's when the best stuff comes out.
Oh, I know it.
So it's like, I'm not saying don't, I mean, say whatever you want, but let's try to get back into politics. That's what it really is about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I spoke too much on the first one, so I'll keep
No,
it
you
quiet.
did not.
Oh, no, you didn't.
No,
Are
no,
you
bring
kidding?
it. Bring it.
Kevin,
No,
you always
really.
have great facts. You've been there, done that,
Mhm.
seen it.
I mean,
You all respect your
what's
opinion.
happening to you is getting ready to happen to us, and
That's another
Yeah,
and
good.
then
bring it.
people should be afraid of this tyranny that they're trying to do towards us.
You're
It's not
dealing with
right.
open minds here, man.
And I believe that Trump opened everybody's eyes across the world to their own government's crap. It seems like they're everything they do is just against the people.
That's because they are against the people.
Mhm. And that's
They
what Trump
don't
has opened up
care. They
everybody's eyes toward. Yeah, they don't care about us.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah.
I heard something today, right?
Mhm.
You know, we're all kind of sort of focused on November,
Right,
but we know the power doesn't shift until January anyway.
right.
It was some guy on Fox News Sunday saying that the Senate race, and it's going to come down to the Senate race in Georgia as to who has the most senators, right?
You're looking at Pennsylvania too with Dr.
Well,
Oz.
This is what he was saying. He said 90% of all Georgia Senate races come down to a recall, not a recall, but I don't forget what he
A
called,
recount, a recount.
no, a runoff,
Oh, a runoff.
because you have to have over 51%
Yeah,
to win outright, and that's 90% of the time it has never happened. So
Yeah,
it could
so
be
then
the
it goes
runoff.
in, then it goes into
Runoff.
recount. You're
Well,
right.
the runoff is in February,
Right.
so that would be March. So that gives them November, December, January, February. That gives them 5 months to fuck us over.
Yeah, it gives them that amount of time to get as many of this bullshit bills as they can passed
And they plan on it.
between now and then. Yeah,
And they plan on
they
it.
gotta cram ass and they gotta get as much smashed through there before we take the minority leader is just wait, and all he needs is just a couple votes and boom.
As soon as they
Republicans
find out that they've lost, oh yeah, they're gonna hurt us.
Oh, we
They're
know
gonna hurt
that.
us bad. Just like Obama did when he sent all that cash to Iran. Yeah, they're gonna hurt us.
I just hope that the Republicans don't get as money hungry as these Democrats have. I
They're
don't think that,
already that.
Some of
I
them
don't-
already
They're
are.
already that.
I don't think they're gonna do this woke bullshit, but you know, it's all where the money flows, you know, and everybody's doing blow, so I'm just concerned about our guys overseas, you know, I'm watching all this shit and they're one trigger hair away from getting fried in place. You know? I'm sure we got special ops sitting right on it anyhow. It's never gonna happen. It's a big bluff.
I'll tell you something. The military is not working under Biden.
Yeah, it is.
No way.
Yeah,
No
it
way.
is. Yeah, it
Not
is.
what we're seeing.
Not in a
yes.
conventional way, not conventional, no. But the
Right.
shit you don't know about is working just
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. There's something else going on underneath.
yeah. Like
I
I
don't
said,
worry about none of it.
we've been sitting in Poland since last October, you know, 2 in the 325. They're waiting. They're just waiting for a green light.
They
Yeah.
have still not called a call name. They have still not called Air Force One for Biden.
Right behind my
From what I've heard.
Air Force One is the call name.
Right. And they don't use it. The military doesn't use it, or the Air Force doesn't use it when Biden's on Air Force One. Well, whatever plane the president is on is supposed to be Air Force One, and that's supposed to be the call.
About the AC.
He's got the window open. I turned the AC off.
Oh, all right.
Windows are open.
The computer going down here.
God, I gotta get a new computer. All right, let's keep this going. Let's keep it going. I'm so sad. Like Nancy couldn't make it. Jill couldn't make it. Jill's on her way home. So
Where
we
the
wish
hell,
her
where the hell Pat? There's Patch. There he is.
Patch is here. We have Melita, Debbie Latimer, Joseph, Dwayne. We have Brother Reb, Kevin, my Kevy.
The hell you doing, Patch?
Present.
I'm on my delivery in North Carolina. I'm just parking into the business. That way I can sit down and bullshit with you guys.
Where are you at there?
Man, you're about 5 hours from me, huh? 6 hours?
Benson, North Carolina.
Benson?
Benson. Man, he slipped by. They're with my chance with a paintball gun.
Now,
Yeah, I
wasn't
just left
Benson the show with the mayor? Was it a mayor?
Governor.
Oh, he was a governor, and
Benson was the
the butler, the black guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
Him and Roz didn't get along well.
Was Odo the governor? The one that Renee whatever the hell his name is.
The Jedi Knight.
No, Odo from Star Trek.
Odo. Oh wait, that was
Odo
Yoda.
one.
From Star Trek, Odo. From Deep Space Nine. Oh, where is Jill? God.
Odo, Joe.
Yeah, who was the one that played? Okay.
Odo, it's the time before the brown behorn. You guys remember Fat Albert?
Hey, hey, hey.
Grew up with it.
You got Mushmouth in there. Hey, baby. It's the time before the brown hornet. And then the brown hornet would come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh, that's the guy. I know him.
Oh, there's Bob Goulian, yeah.
Oh no, he isn't it. Okay.
Your Benson's down on the left.
Yeah, I know.
Dubois.
Oh, I remember this guy too.
Oh yeah, yep.
I thought he was in it. Who is she? She looks familiar too. Was she on anything else?
Somebody drank my coffee.
She wasn't on me.
All right. So this is basically what we do every night. We bullshit about bullshit. But
Well, you said you wanted to go politics.
no, I know. But isn't that political that they had a black butler?
No, you know what's anti-political is the fact that a bunch of strangers can get together and bitch about it.
Right.
We don't need
That's
no
exactly what
goddamn.
this is for. That's exactly what this is for. Let us all
Yeah.
fit
You know. Where's my GoFundMe?
free, just like
Where's
Debbie.
Where's my Cracker Lives Matter funding?
Cracker life.
Oh God, YouTube is going to take us down. My God, they said so many bad words. I can't. Their algorithms are going to implode.
I'm a honky tonk woman.
Whoa. Ew. Anybody have a joke? Let's go with a joke.
Now I have a question though. What are your guys' gas prices like?
Oh, geez.
Most expensive I saw at a Walmart in South Carolina was $3.19, but I've seen it down to $2.89.
Our gas prices here in Western Washington just went to over $5 a gallon again.
I never understood that about the West Coast.
We're
Never understood that
345.
about the West Coast because you guys are on the West Coast where all the shit is getting drilled.
Washington, the reason our gas here is so high in Washington is because our governor, who's a blooming idiot, did not suspend the gas tax when Biden said, told everybody to suspend gas tax. Not only that, he's tacked on another 49 cents a gallon. We're paying almost $1 a gas tax a gallon.
Well,
for
see,
gas.
Nothing to see there.
I'm originally from New York State, so I could understand $5 over there because you got to deliver it. But when you live a couple miles away from where they're drilling it and refining it in the first place, I don't see where the additive. I know my assistant gunner in the service works for Exxon. He's even sent me job applications. That's how much he's into it, and we can't understand the shit either. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if I'm drilling gas and I got it coming out of my backyard, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper for me to use than it's for me to deliver it to somebody all the way across the country. I don't get that.
Well, you have to send it to refineries.
Well, yeah, but they're all right there. They're all right there. There's no refineries in New York State. Why are they paying $5-6 a gallon on the West Coast and it's $2 cheaper on the East? I mean, granted,
$3.29 here.
a lot of it gets shipped out of Venezuela. We get a lot of it from Venezuela, but oh my God, really?
We have idiots out here for governors.
Yep.
No way.
Well,
How long have you been sitting on that information?
Think about it. Jay Inslee actually went on the bid for president when Trump was on the bid for president.
Yeah.
And his platform was on global warming.
Yeah. I'm so sick of that bullshit.
It is bullshit, ain't it?
Oh
Total
my
bullshit.
God. They dealt with this in the 50s and they dealt with it in the 1900s. And the planet's still spinning.
The climate,
You know, so
hasn't imploded yet.
yeah, so shut up.
our climate is always changing because the world is spinning.
Yeah. Go ahead and
World
cook off,
don't
you know,
spin.
if we could cook off like 7 nuclear bombs in the Middle East, we could shift the earth on its axis a little bit, bring us just a hair closer to the sun. Maybe we ought to give that a try.
Sure.
And we'll send a bunch of guys in Hawaiian shorts and t-shirts over there to run the oil wells because throw up a McDonald's and a Super 8 and you're good to go. 6-figure incomes, doo-doo-doo, and just wipe them out so we ain't gotta hear about it no more. Here's your tribal war, asshole. Boom. Go ahead, cook it. You know, that's what I keep telling them. Just turn the whole place into glass. You know, if that's what they want, I can solve the nuclear problem in 10 minutes. Just give me a key and a finger so I can push on the button and solve the whole goddamn thing.
Hillary's got the reset button.
You know, it's like, really? These people are something. He killed me.
Yeah,
Every
Yeah.
time they come on TV, I'm like, are these people serious?
You know do you know what the Tasmanian devil, that animal is? The Tasmanian devil.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You know that they just proved a couple of months, a year ago, whatever, that it used to be found in Australia as well.
Mhm.
And I think New Zealand, and you know why it became extinct? Because
Yeah.
of because of climate change 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So climate change has been going on, and that's the official scientific reason why it became extinct was climate change. And I
Right.
don't think there were very many motor cars, vehicles pushing out fossil fuel fumes and factories spewing out fumes causing climate change in those days. So it just proves, there's the proof that climate change is at least 3,000 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's a natural
And you can
event.
multiply that to 3 million or whatever the age of the earth is. It's been changing ever since it came into being, and it will carry on until it no longer exists.
Well, you got all them moose and elk and deer and cows farting all over the place, man. That's
There you
causing all
go.
that methane to go up there in
Methane. Thank
the
you. Thank
atmosphere and killing
you.
them. God,
Yeah,
God.
Thank you.
I saw today they've reintroduced three female bison, European bison, and one male into the UK, where they've been extinct for about 1,000 years.
Bison? I didn't
And
know the UK had bison.
yeah, the UK had them, and European, you get the European bison as well.
I didn't know that.
And
Big money. Big money.
and everyone is talking about, you see, man and climate change made them extinct. And in their own article, they say that they've been extinct in the area for 1,000 years.
Well, we were hungry.
Yeah, someone was very hungry in the UK,
Yeah.
or otherwise they made a lot of fires and a lot of greenhouse gases, and that's why they became extinct.
Well, they said they blew up that Nordstrom, and they said that the gas release from that Nordstrom was the equivalent to 4.7 million cars in the United States in one day.
Yes. And when Krakatoa blew its top off, the world went into about a 2 or 3 year almost continuous winter
Yeah, nuclear winter. Yeah,
with all the volcanic ash that was when Krakatoa blew its lid.
right.
So
We need a couple of those fucking volcanoes in the U.S. I can figure out where I can place them.
yeah,
Let's see,
you know, I
California.
was in the UK. I was in the UK in 1970, and it was the hottest that I've ever been in my life. And 2
Oh.
years later, they were in about a 6 year winter where the temperature never went above 20, which is 20 centigrade. So that's about
Yeah, it's cold.
it's about 60, 68 degrees or something was the hottest they got in their summer.
Yeah, it's cold.
And they called it a mini ice age. And there was
Yeah.
another one in 1900, and there was another one there, and they've got all these dates. They've got this drought that they've got there. They've dug up, or the rivers that have dropped. They've found etchings on the stoneware. The stone that's been carved out, and it dates back to the 1600s, showing the level that the river was then. And they're saying this river's never been so low. But then when they looked on this one stone place where they'd carved all the levels, and it's been doing that every couple of 50 years or so, you have a drought in the area.
Right, it's a natural occurrence.
It's a natural occurrence, and it's going to happen
right.
again. I mean, look at the temperature that we've just moved into spring, because we're the opposite to you guys. And the temperature today was 95 degrees.
Oh, really?
Feels like 99. That is bloody hot for us.
What's the typical average before? Upper 70s?
This time of year, about 80, 85.
Yeah.
And it's going to be even higher. It's going to be over 100 in this coming week.
Phew.
Yeah.
Where's that?
You're not going to have electricity for 7 hours here and there a day.
Yes, and then you can't put your fans or anything on. We don't even have air cons as a rule here in houses because it's never that hot.
Oh, so you're not prepared for the heat then?
No, I'm living at 6,000 feet above sea level, so it gets a little bit cooler here in any case. We live in it's supposed to be a very temperate zone. Doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. I've actually seen snow. I think it's about 6 or 7 times, maybe 8 in the whole life. And 2 of those times when I went past the mountains a couple of 100 miles away from where I live, where they do get snow in the mountains. So with about 2 years, last year, our summer was so cold. People didn't even swim until February. We had like 1 month of decent summer. So, climate changes every year, and the best part is I've been looking back at my memories that come up on Facebook, and people say, "Oh, look, it's snowing."
Yeah.
This time of year, and then you look back and it snowed in 2017 and 2013, and everything repeats. even down to hailstorms occurring on the same day in previous years. You know, and it goes in cycles, 4, 5, 6 years, and then it comes. But it's those little, what do they call it? El Nino and La Nina.
Yeah, Nino and Nina.
Yeah.
You
El
know,
Nino,
and
Nino,
they're active at
yeah.
the moment. And you know, the effect where they say we're supposed to be having a wet winter, a wet summer, but they normally cause drought for you guys and heat. Well, they
Right,
got that wrong as well. So
right. So then once everything shifts, it's going to be in reverse.
yes, but
Yeah, yeah. That's
but
how they market their agricultural bullshit. You know,
no,
what
but
from
now,
one end of the world to the other. You know, it's like right now we rely on the Ukraine for wheat, and next year they might be relying on us.
yeah.
Blah blah blah. You know, same old stuff. Where are you now?
Oh, he doesn't
Sorry,
know.
Are you in the UK now?
No,
no,
Oh,
I'm in South Africa.
you're in South Africa.
Yeah,
Wow, that's interesting. Wow,
far south. I'm from the far south.
no kidding.
Oh,
Boy, I bet
so
you're seeing some crap down there.
that's why we
We got
love
lots.
having Kevy on.
yes, yes,
Love,
yes, we
love,
do.
love it. And I wish Tony has to join us one day with Brett. They're both from Australia. We have friends in New Zealand. We have friends in China. We have friends all over, actually. It's just hard to get everybody together from different time zones.
You speak fluent English from being in South Africa. I mean, there's an accent you've got. So where are you? Is that where you're originally from, South Africa?
Yeah, South Africa, English is my first language, and we speak better English than most Pommies speak.
You speak it better than most of them over here.
Yeah,
For real.
Hey,
you
now
know,
I resemble that remark.
Yeah. Oh, he seemed to have forgotten what literature is.
yeah, we genuinely speak a more correct English than most Pommies do.
Yeah, because you get your language from Britain.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
France.
Pommies don't speak English either. But yeah, I also speak Afrikaans.
That's very interesting.
But we've got 12, 13 now, 13 official languages. Well, 12, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
bringing the 13th in.
Yep.
And
French. Yep. They wanted me to
no,
learn.
they're all,
They wanted me to learn Creole. Do you have that down there as well?
Oh, that'd be
no,
necessary in life
no.
one day.
Creoles from the Seychelles and the islands.
Yeah, I was headed for Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah, it originates from, there are about 2,000 languages in Africa.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Are you kidding me? All that gold and all that stuff. Everybody wants a part of Africa.
Yeah, well, I'm talking official in endemic languages. A country like Nigeria has got something like 170 languages and dialects that are spoken just in Nigeria,
Oh yeah. Are
which
you
is
in Are you in the middle of a war zone right now, or are you pretty peaceful?
no, we're pretty peaceful. We're right down south, so we right on the tip of Africa. We've just got corrupt politicians. That's all.
Oh well, I was just about to ask you what you all, as a general overview, what you thought of the American government, because we're thinking the same thing over here.
If what's happening there has already happened here.
Yeah.
Um,
Nobody seems to learn a lesson.
a typical example. Can you remember Obama's statement of you only need what 2,000, no, $200,000 and you don't need two houses and all that sort of, and then they were talking about people being limited to one residence, the Democrats. It was a, who was it? Old Mad Max was one of the people that was trying to get that in.
Yeah.
And they say you don't need all these multiple residences and all that sort of thing. Well, that bill's just been passed now on Thursday here. They can expropriate your property and they don't even have to compensate you if they feel you don't need that property.
Yeah, what do they call that over here, guys? That's we've got a law, the same thing. What do they
Yeah.
call that? When they just take
Yeah,
your
when-
shit.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
Like if they're building a highway, they just
expropriation
take it.
Mhm.
by international law, there's no other country that legally takes your property without compensation.
Eminent
Unless you
domain.
Yeah, eminent domain. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Eminent domain.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
If you won't sell it to them at the price that you want or that
Yeah.
they want, then they'll just take it and they'll pay you whatever they fucking feel like paying you.
At an
Yeah.
extreme discount.
the difference is they're not even going to offer you $1 for the property here. It's expropriation without compensation. Full
Yes,
stop.
that's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. But no compensation, not even a reduced price. It's not a willing buyer, seller, or we will decide what the price. We will just take it. We want it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Well, see, what people here in the United States don't understand is it's a worldwide issue. It's not just the United States. The United States wants to implode. They don't realize that there's people like in your country, in Africa, that is a very conflicted continent in a massive way. You got tribal wars and the whole 9 yards, which is basically the same crap that we got going on over here, except we call them politicians. You know, you have your politicians over there, and I just wish everybody could just get along for once, and everything would be solved. You know, how much money is enough? You know, Africa has been invaded. That whole continent's been raped for all of its resources as well. But I wonder about the people that live there that let it happen, you know, because I'm wondering if, you know, because we're apparently in the United States facing the same thing. Same with the Russians. It's all about who sells the most natural resources and they'll sacrifice anything they can do to get it. What's your opinion on that?
They look, all the Western countries, be it Portugal, we didn't have, Spain never actually came to Africa. This part of Africa, they were only up north. And that's very far away from us.
For all the white people.
But Belgium, France, and the Portuguese and the British, they, as you say, raped this country. They actually already demanding our diamond back that was stolen. The biggest diamond that was ever found is sitting in the Queen's crown jewels.
Yes.
And that was actually stolen from us. And they're demanding it back, and it's got a value of I think it's $400 million.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying in the press.
They could blow through that in a day.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you know that our president is still answering questions. He had a robbery at home, and he had $4 million US dollars. Now in South Africa, you're not allowed to, as a private individual, to own dollars. It's not legal tender in South Africa. And he had $4 million, and guess where they stole it from? where it was in his house. It was stuffed in a settee, in a couch.
It just
So
it just kills me that the human mind is so set on this rock. And how many people have died for this rock? That's the part of humanity that I fail to understand, you know, because I personally I didn't need that rock. I don't need all that money. I don't
yeah,
understand why everybody else does. I really am trying to figure that out because I'm
but
poor and happy.
but when that robbery took place, it's only come to light now. It came out, the robbery took place about 3 weeks or a month before we were plunged into the worst lockdown for COVID.
Oh yeah.
And guess where our president was a month before that? He was in the United States. So that was his payment that he received from someone to lock down this country to kill our economy. Because
Yeah.
no one stuffs $4 million into a couch.
Right.
So yes, and
Did
now
they
he says he sold some wild game.
Did they check the ottoman?
Yeah, it probably came on a Air Force airplane. And that was his share back. So
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. It's
you
amazing.
know the problem is that Africa is big.
Yes.
There's
Continent.
over a billion of the world's population live, something like 1.4, 1.2 billion live here.
Yeah.
But it's spread over an area. I mean, you can put the United States, China, and Europe, and a few other places will fit into the area of Africa. So it's spread over, and believe you me, there is corruption and there is interference from Western countries the whole time, and nothing ever gets resolved. You know that Kenya is tied into some agreement, and it's probably with Monsanto or one of these seed producers, that you actually go to jail if you give your next door neighbor any seeds from your seeds of your crop. You go to jail.
Now,
Because
why would they possibly want to do that? To keep you oppressed and dependent
to keep
on
people oppressed, of course, out of the
agricultural imports?
yes.
Okay,
We
yeah.
got
So they don't want you to grow your own. They want
No,
it
you
all.
can grow your own as long
they
as you
want you
buy it
dependent
from,
on them.
as long as you buy GMO imported from overseas.
It's,
That's what it is. So
And
they
we've got a
they're
couple
controlling
billion
our food
Mexican.
production. They're controlling our food production from somewhere in the United States or in Germany or wherever these seeds are being produced. And they don't want us to be self-sufficient.
well, see, we used to have fundraisers here decades ago where Sally Struthers would be looking for donations for starving Ethiopian children. Where did that
Yes.
money ever go?
Sally Struthers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a confirmation here.
Hey,
I
Kevin.
know. I just want to hear it from him.
Kevin.
Yeah.
We've got about 3 million illegals that crossed our border this year. We're willing to send them over there because they can pick the crops. Nancy Pelosi said it herself.
I heard us. Yeah, it's all right. Let me tell you something. We are about 7,000 or 8,000 miles away from Somalia and Ethiopia and all those countries. Let me tell you, our country is full of immigrants from there. Nigerians by the hundreds of thousands. I think there are more. I think there are more Zimbabweans living in South Africa than there are in Zimbabwe.
Right.
And now our government is, can you believe it, wanting to enforce closed borders, and they're actually sending the immigrants, the illegal immigrants and refugees, they're sending them home because there are no jobs available for the indigenous South Africans.
How are they doing that? Diplomatically.
They're just withdrawing their temporary resident permits, and if they get caught, they get put in a vehicle and they get shipped home.
So they're busing them back. Okay. That's what I was curious about.
That's with the Zimbabweans. The others, they put them on planes and they send them back.
And what do they got up there? Nothing, probably, right?
Sorry?
They've got nothing left to go back to, right?
That's Robert Mugabe stripped that country of everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've seen pictures. Boy, I don't know.
One thing is they don't have any potholes in their roads because they don't have any roads anymore.
Wow.
They literally have dirt roads in their main cities.
Why don't they have dirt? Why don't they have roads anymore?
Oh,
washed out.
They're just disintegrated and gone.
Sandstorms, shit like that. Yeah.
They
get
never
washed
them
out.
back up, huh?
You know, sandstorms, weather, just weather wipes them out.
Yeah, no, the roads got so bad that the little bit of macadamized road that was there, they just graded away.
Yeah. Worn down to the nub. Yeah. Because there's no vegetation.
Cheese is in the rice.
Oh, up there.
They don't believe in maintenance of anything because that costs money. If you spend money on maintenance, then you can't steal that money because it's been used.
Do they offer them the education to be able to do maintenance? Can they get educated on that?
No, we've got compulsory education for all children under the age of 16.
Yeah.
But what did they do? We used to, we were pretty jacked up on our education system. And they've now just lowered the standards.
Yeah, lowered the bar. Yeah.
Only need 30% to pass.
I don't know how these people think they can maintain anything without education. I mean, that's worldwide issue. I don't know how these people think they're going to hang on to it all. I don't understand.
Just the same way that they've dumbed down the American population education system. It's nothing like it was 30 years ago.
All right.
They've done exactly the same because if you've got dumbed down people and you give them limited education, they don't have the critical thinking.
Right. They don't have the resources to protest because they've never seen anything better than
they
what
don't
they've
know
got.
anything. Yeah.
Right. Right.
And we've now signed over the rights to the United Nations, and they will provide the syllabus for all the gender and biological and all these weird and wonderful genders. In other words, basically the sex education will now be done under the auspices and according to the program as given to us by the United Nations.
Good Lord.
Help us.
United Nations. They're not going nowhere. They're
The
not-
whole world is doing this, in other words.
It's
Not just
exactly
the US. We're
Right. Well, yeah, all the governments are corrupt. All of them are involved.
and
And the
Bonnie, you haven't heard before. Everything that's happened in South Africa in my lifetime, and Caroline is one of the people that knows. I predicted 5-6 years ago exactly the same route, what was going to happen, and virtually everything has happened that's happened in the United States happened here beforehand. We like a little mini testing ground.
Well, if you've got an open mind, it's really not hard to figure out. That's what scares me, is that we don't have enough people with open minds to understand what the hell's going on. You can't do this. You just can't do any of what it is that you're doing right now. You can't. You know, now they're gonna chuck nukes. Do you know what's gonna happen then? That's not gonna solve anything. It's
Right.
not gonna solve nothing. When the minute Russia cooks off one nuke, all these neighboring countries are going to start throwing theirs, and it's just going to be desolate. And then you sit there and you think, well, was it worth it? Was it worth
Yeah.
it? You know,
I'm not even
Well,
worried about Russia.
I
I'm not
joke.
worried either.
I joke
They
about
reckon
turning
people-
everything into glass. I make jokes about it, but I really don't feel that way. I mean, it would be the decimation of mankind as we know it. You know, you watch those Road Warrior films from back in the early '80s. That's gonna be it. You're gonna be trying, whatever it is you can put together to go like hell and try to find the next thing fast. You know, it's
We're
crazy.
keyboard warriors. We are
Yeah,
Patriot warriors.
That's because people sit back in their little bubble and they're worried about their neighbor's yard is greener than theirs.
yeah.
They've got to get a newer truck because Bob next door got a new truck. Oh, they got a boat. Fuck yeah, we got to get a boat.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're
minimalistic
going on-
bullshit.
And we're going on vacation to Disney this year. We're going to take all 14 of our nephews at $200 a pop.
Yeah, and
But
you
we
get
don't-
there and it's a shithole.
Oh, well, and I don't care who wins the vote. It doesn't make no difference to me.
Yeah,
Right.
that's to hear
Then all of a
that
sudden,
to hear
then
that
they-
come out of Africa that's a scary issue. So I'm wondering what's happening up in the Midlands of the United Kingdom,
same shit.
you know, because they're reliant on that Nord Stream pipeline and all this other crap that everybody else is beating each other up about. But, you know, they had Finland was in there, you know, they locked down the borders because they don't want any
Germany-
more Russians and
in
stuff like that in
Germany-
the country and stuff like that. But it's all just this massive humanitarian issue from one border to the other. If this world was flat, it would be a mess.
In Germany,
It'd be a great big dump.
in Germany, they're going through their national parks, killing out all the dead trees so people can burn them.
Well, they always have. Germany's great with their woods. I love the woods in Germany.
No, they're going into extra effort now.
Yeah, they took all their prisoners. That's what they made them do all day. I always said, man, if I was in prison in Germany, that'd be great. Go out there and pick up wood and hang out in the woods all day. That'd be awesome. Sure as hell beats solitary confinement. But wow.
Well, our mines are working flat out to supply Germany with coal.
Yep. Everything comes out of Africa. So I'm surprised that that place hasn't been completely strip mined of everything it's got by now.
They tried. They tried.
Yeah, I'm sure they keep
got
going
massive-
too.
We
They're
don't
taking,
have.
They're taking gold. They're taking diamonds. They're taking.
Gold, coal, oil. They're what, number 3 in
Yeah,
oil?
we don't have oil here.
No oil?
No, we've got a couple of gas fields, that's it.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking, oh, natural gas.
Natural gas up
Okay,
in
yeah,
Angola. I'm talking about us in South Africa, but in
yeah,
Nigeria they've got where they've got lots of oil,
yeah, yeah.
and off Angola, and there's a bit off Mozambique. But we when I say we, the rest of Africa is a totally a different scenario to South Africa. You cannot believe the difference between. It's like we could have been 2 different continents.
Well, does that relate back to the apartheid days? I'm sure
No,
it must.
All for that.
it dates back to the previous way the country was run
Yeah,
by the British. The British built up the infrastructure. The British put in, one thing they did do was give us education. I don't know if you know that South Africa was one of the in the top 6 world economies in around about 1980, 1990.
oh yeah,
They were actually bigger than China.
yeah. They're a very important country or continent.
And if you take you take a lot of things that you take for granted, like a CT scan that came from South Africa.
Did it really? CAT
Yeah,
scan?
DNA encoding that came from South Africans.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Everyone knows about the heart
You know what comes
transplant.
from South Africa? Elon Musk.
Elon Musk as well.
Yeah, and look how
Yeah.
rich he is.
Kim Clement. Kim Clement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know their names. That's the point.
Right.
You know their
Yeah.
names.
Yeah, his sister Elon's sister still lives in Cape Town. But there was a time when if you were a medical doctor or a registered nurse, you could get a job anywhere in the world because our doctors will do confinement, they will set limbs, they will stitch you up, they will do just about anything. They're not specialists in one field, they do the whole lot.
Right.
Everyone knows about the heart transplant. There were other transplants which South Africa was the first one to do as well. Men that had botched circumcisions, they gave them new packages.
Oh my. My God.
Oh yeah,
They really do
yeah.
try everything first in South
yeah.
Africa.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest.
We thought it
experiment
was just like the chickens but
because
my
nobody
thing
cares.
is, Kevin,
They started there where nobody thinks about.
Yeah, Africa is one giant guinea pig.
Right.
doesn't
Exactly.
the UK every year come and take 1 tunnel of gold, like every year, and they don't say
Sorry?
where it's going? The UK,
What about them?
don't they come into South Africa and like take a tunnel of gold every year?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a per se. That's an expression.
No.
No, they don't physically do that. They don't
They don't
physically
know-
do that. They
They
couldn't
don't
pull
know
it
where
off.
they don't know where the gold goes. They literally, it's not. I've heard it beyond conspiracy stuff.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No, it goes through governments. It gets spread out through the continent and goes to these.
No, I don't
No,
think
I know
so.
it does. It gets funneled off to like Yemen and all this other kind of places, and they sit there. You funnel it. That's an expression, is what it is. That's an expression.
I don't know about now, but up until about 10 years ago, more gold had been mined in South Africa than combined in the rest of the world in
believe
modern
that.
times.
Yeah.
That's why they used the, that's why there was the, what was it? Anglo-Borough War or something.
Anglo-Boer War.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. That was
Yeah,
against the
my-
farmers of,
Boer.
of South Africa.
The
Yeah,
Boer. The Boer.
The funny thing is that my great-grandfather, great-grandmother, and 2 great-aunts died in the concentration camp. That's on my dad's mother's side. Her family used to own most of where Johannesburg stands, used to be their farm, by the way. And they lost it. Now I've got nothing. But anyhow, my grandfather's on my mom's side, her great-grandfather made the cannon that saved Kimberley from the Boers. So I had family fighting on both sides.
Wow, that doesn't happen. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen often.
What happened is the Boers had a couple of cannons that they got from Germany. And they laid siege to a couple of towns, amongst them Kimberley, and these were long-range cannons. And De Beers, the mining company, they decided to build a cannon. Within a month, they had the plans and they built the cannon. And my great-grandfather actually made the wheels for it.
Wow.
And I've got his tool chest, and I've got all his woodworking tools here, and it's almost guaranteed that some of those tools were actually used to actually make that cannon.
Make the wheel. I love
It's almost like a 105 howitzer.
Yes.
Except it's homemade. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And they called it Long Cecil after Cecil John Rhodes. And just for the history, Cecil John Rhodes and the Rothschilds and all the others were all in cahoots. And that is how long that they've been after South Africa and after all of the mineral wealth.
Wow.
Right.
So
Interesting.
that's why all diamonds are still, the sale of diamonds are regulated and effectively controlled through De Beers to this day, even though they've had their antitrust law run-ins with the US government, they still control the total output of diamonds in the world.
Diamonds are fraud anyway.
My question is, why is gold and diamonds so precious?
Because I want it to be.
Why? Who made this, like, who developed the fact that gold is so important to people?
From what I understand, there were 2 ladies that started as diamond things in the 40s. And any diamond sold goes into their freaking bank account. Diamonds are not that rare. You ever see a jewelry store run out of them? They're not rare. They find bigger ones and they let you know.
The alien
controlled. All fraud.
Well, that's one of the conspiracy theories, is that it is from the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki wanted gold and they came here. And it's just weird because
it's an excellent conductor of electricity.
right, it could be used for, well, that's true too, but who uses it for, well, I guess we do.
Expensive.
It's in every computer and every phone.
Yeah, but it's like, like it doesn't have to be pure gold. It's just like a percent of gold, which is nothing.
It's one of the most inert,
That's
one of the most inert metals there is, and it doesn't rust or anything, and that's
right.
One of the things that, and it used to be rare, but then South Africa screwed that up.
Why? there's still, there's no real answer. So why? I mean, okay, so we do use it for certain things, but for the most part, it's sold for commodity.
Yeah, it's,
Why?
Decoration.
it's in the United States, it's the same as people collect silver. And you know that in South Africa, other than jewelry and little specific gold bars which are specially numbered and minted, you may not be in possession of unwrought gold.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have, if you find a diamond, and if you're not in a diamond, have a license. If I pick up a diamond, I can do nothing with it. If I get caught with it, I could go to jail. I may not have any non-ferrous metal of any sort in an unwrought form in South Africa.
Right.
But yet
Like
we've
for
got,
a natural ore, right?
yeah, I can't go and dig out some aluminium, what's it called, bauxite, and melt it down and make myself aluminium and then try and sell it. I'll end up in jail.
Whoa.
If I go and dig out copper and I melt it down and I try and sell it and they catch me, I get put into jail.
It's all total control.
Because it's all controlled, because it's got to go back to the Rothschilds.
And the royal family.
Yes, but I don't think the Rothschilds has any control anymore.
They've got, believe you me, they've got control. And
I
I mean,
think
they own our reserve bank like everywhere else is. And they are major shareholders in Anglo American, in De Beers, and all the other mining companies.
They've already been taken care of.
They've been taken down, Kevy.
Trump,
I said it in the very beginning. Trump is in charge of the Federal Reserve. There's no doubt in my mind.
Totally.
It's just that he can't say it right now.
Right.
He can't do anything right now with it.
Right.
But that's why they're taking all our taxes, all our money, and trying to ship it to the Ukraine.
Yeah,
they're trying to save themselves.
I laughed when the people complained about a couple of $1 million a couple of billion that was sent to
who is it? Oh,
sending all the money to
no,
to the Ukraine,
so.
And yet you're sending us money as well.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's their savings. They're trying to get what they can out of us with their last hurrah. And it ain't working. It ain't gonna work.
And by the way, guess who's one of the major contenders in the renewable energy market in South Africa, or producers that's going to benefit from the money when they get it?
Oh.
He happens to be the brother-in-law of our president.
Go figure.
Okay.
How convenient is
So
that?
So you had one regime end, and you have another bitch regime.
Yeah.
Coming your way. Well, I think it's going to end. I think Trump is did wake up a lot of people.
Our government is about. We've got elections in 2024. I think it is. And at the current rate, the current ANC will no longer be the ruling power, because the black people, out of their mouths, is please bring back the apartheid regime, because at least this country functioned.
Wow, that's terrible. Wow.
Caroline, I grew up under that regime. There were a couple of people like that terrorist that the world thinks was the reincarnation of Christ, the way he's treated. And that man was having blacks murdered on a daily basis. His
Oh,
wife had
disgusting.
children necklaced with, where they put a tire around their neck and set them alight.
Yep.
And
I've
that
seen
was his wife. And I didn't say any names. And believe you me, the corruption and the killing, I mean, in the whole apartheid years, there was something like 40,000 people died violently, as that's crimes, family murders, the lot. And that was in 48 years. In 30 years, under the current government, something like 700,000 people have been killed violently.
Wow.
So believe you me, the stories that were portrayed overseas were grossly exaggerated. The best hospital in the Southern Hemisphere, and it compared with virtually any hospital that you found in the United States at that time, was purely for black people, and they could go there, and for, in those days, a rand was $1. For as much as $2, you could have a major heart surgery done.
Wow.
And
Damn.
if you were white and you had the same surgery done, it cost you thousands of rands.
Whoa. God.
And
What on earth?
when the apartheid regime took over in South Africa, there were about 8 million blacks. When the ANC took, and there were about 5 million whites and other races. When the ANC took over, there were still around about 5-6 million other races, and there were 50 million blacks. So if the blacks were that badly treated, their life expectancy went up from around about 40 years old to about 60 years old. The infant mortality rate went from a pretty high figure down to 5%, 10%, which is like normal.
Right.
You know, so a lot of what, you know, you're dealing with the media, and the media has been around all these years.
Oh yeah.
I grew up, and I never saw the things that are supposed to have happened happen. They happen in isolated cases, just like they happen in any other country. When I was in the UK, there was far more racial hatred and beatings up and killings while I was there. Remember, I don't know,
Wow.
knowing them will remember the skinheads. Can you remember the skinheads in America, in the United Kingdom?
Of course. There's skinheads here too, yeah.
They were far worse racially than any South African. I mean, I've seen Afrikaans farmers cry when one of their workers died.
Oh, yeah.
They used to put those children, they paid for those children's school fees, they clothed them, they did everything. They were part of the family.
Yeah, right, family, right. Yeah.
So don't believe everything that. The only difference was they said these people need to be developed, so we will let them develop at their own rate. That is the basis of apartheid, was develop them, and they were building one black school a week in South Africa.
Right.
For virtually the whole time of the apartheid regime. They were trying to educate the people. You know, you're talking about people that had, I mean, they are still literally in the northern part of Natal. There are people there that have barely ever seen a white face in their life.
Wow.
So you can't take that person and put them into a university. You know, It just doesn't work.
My boyfriend in Ireland, this was around 9/11. He would tell me, he was only a couple of years older than me, so what, 47, 48? He would say that he never saw like a black person in Ireland.
No, you didn't.
And there was a time where even he didn't have electricity.
Yeah.
He was from Limerick, Stab City.
Limerick,
Yeah.
yeah.
If there's any Irish out there, they'll know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You know, do you know where the highest population of ex-South Africans is now concentrated? Is in Ireland. There's actually more ex-South Africans in Ireland than in Australia.
Why? Is it because of religion?
It's just that people, you know, the Irish and the Afrikaners, the Boers, always got on well because they both hated the British.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Your enemy, the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
Friends.
that's right. Now look, the Boers were treated. You know what happened with the Irish? With the British treated the Afrikaners exactly the same.
Mm.
And just by the way, virtually all the apartheid laws were introduced by the British.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
I'm
sense.
Around about 1900. Okay, before we even became a union, it was an issue. The British took away the voting franchise, not the apartheid government. They only came into being in 1948. And the blacks lost the franchise in something like 1910.
Hmm.
The Nationalist Party made one grave mistake, and they spoke about separate development, and
Yeah.
it got the name of apartheid.
Right.
Right,
And that
right.
that is the biggest mistake that they made.
They know it.
Yeah, they gave it a name.
They made it. They singled it. Yeah, they singled it out. Like,
I wonder why the United States all of a sudden got all up in arms about it. I wonder what their political motivation was to fight apartheid. I mean, it was a big movement over here when I was a teenage kid.
Yes.
hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
remember.
All right, listen,
You
guys.
know-
It's been a very long show, and I've got an amazing headache. I can't seem to get rid of. I have to go to eye doctor. I want everybody to say goodbye, say their last piece, and I think we'll end the show. And then you guys can continue on Zoom while I just like put a wet towel over my head.
Caroline, have you
Yes.
got pink Himalayan salt?
Yes.
Have you
Oh,
got
I don't
lemon
know if I have any left here. Why? Is it good for headaches?
It's been a good talk, that's for sure.
Take a bit of about a half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt
Yeah.
and a good squirt, or squeeze a lemon out and top it up with water and drink it. It'll take your headache away.
Really?
Yes.
Cream of tartar too.
Left.
Cream of tartar, like it ain't a teaspoon in a glass of water.
I don't know if I have any of that
Right.
either. Oh,
What it
this
does is
home
it
remedy
dilates
should be one of our.
dilates your blood capillaries in your head,
Go
which
jump
gives
out
you
of an
better blood
airplane.
flow,
You
and it
forget all about it.
takes away your headache.
I'll try anything. I don't usually get headaches, so I think no, I have to go to an eye doctor. So my
Yeah,
prescription.
you're
Yeah,
supposed
it
to
could be
make
an eyeball
that
thing.
appointment a while back.
I know a while back, right? And these are my like last pair of
Mhm.
contacts. So
Mhm.
okay, Joe, you want to say something?
I
Say
just
goodbye.
wanted to say have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Been a great talk.
it was
Yeah.
a long talk too.
Mm,
Dwayne, I
Well,
think
I'm gonna
actually.
a lot of subjects.
say good night. It's 4 o'clock. It's nearly 4 a.m. here, so I better sleep.
Good morning and good night, Kevy.
All right. Mhm.
Keep well, everyone.
Evan.
Please come back, Debbie.
Okay.
Okay, Rev, are you there? You want to say anything, Rev? He's around. Debbie, you're on mute, Deb.
There we go.
Ah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Have a good evening, everybody. I'll catch you later.
Debbie.
I had to look up my gas price because my husband was out walking the dog. Ours here
Good
is
night,
about
Debbie.
340, 345, something like that.
Yeah, ours is the cheapest right here now is $5.04 a gallon.
That's insane. Washington State.
40
Shame on you.
$40 gives me a little over half a tank.
That's
It gives me 155 miles.
329 here.
329.
Because I have a 14-gallon gas tank on my vehicle.
Upstate New York is cheaper than Jacksonville, Florida. I am impressed. Washington
every
State,
place
that's just crazy.
Every place is cheaper than Washington. We've got the highest gas tax in the nation.
How much are your cigarettes?
10 something a pack. Unless you buy, we buy them. We usually buy 4 at a time, and we pay $34.94 for 4 packs. And that's for Camo 99s at My Goods, and that's with getting. They have discounts on them. That's with discounts.
I am sure glad I quit smoking in 2010.
I
Yeah,
have
good
to
job.
quit.
Uh-huh.
I need to quit before my birthday because in December
I didn't think I was going to be able to
15th,
do it, and I did it, and I am so glad that I did. I
Well,
didn't think I was
December
going to be able to
15th,
do it though.
yeah, it's real hard. December 15th,
you
I've got to
can.
go for my CAT scan
Yeah.
because I went through lung cancer surgery back February 15th of 2019. So
Yeah, you could quit. You just got to keep telling yourself that you hate them and you don't want to smoke no more. You just got to keep telling yourself that. You can
Tell
do
them
it.
you're that racist.
well, actually, I'm
Cigarettes
doing
are
these.
racist.
I'm also using using a vape with a non-nicotine vape juice.
Right. I have a couple of those. I had a billion of those.
But I decided I was going to go for the non-nicotine vape juice because I don't want to get addicted to the nicotine. I'm not addicted to the nicotine; it's the habit. Because
I
when I
mix
was in
my
the
own. You must mix your own vape juice, and then what I did is I cut my nicotine down from over 6%, and I put about 1% in, and just for the flavor.
well, I've
Because
been
if you don't have
smoking for
nicotine,
going on 51 years.
yeah, I was smoking 60 a day.
I started smoking at 10 years old.
Yeah.
So it's the habit.
I've been pulling Bill Clinton because I don't inhale. Since we moved into this condo 3 years ago or so, I stopped inhaling. So I just I'm serious. And I tested myself because I had a few drinks, and usually when you drink you want a cigarette more. I realized, wow, I'm not inhaling. Well, 3 years though, and I'm just so close.
It's the like I said, it's the habit because
Right,
when I was in the hospital,
it's nothing because I'm not like this. I'm not like that.
yeah, I don't get.
Probably
It's like
get
when I
sick
was in the
if I smoke a bit.
hospital. When I was in the hospital for my surgery, I was in there for 2 days. I never even thought about a cigarette. Once I walked out of the hospital, I wanted one.
Right. What
It's
is
the
that?
habit. It's the habit. It's not the nicotine. It's the habit. Because I don't go through withdrawals.
When I stopped from cigarettes to vape, it took exactly 1 week, and I was filling my vape tank three plus times a day.
Wow.
And now I have a smaller tank, the one I'm using, and I fill it every second day, and I'm only using 1.2% nicotine, which I mix myself.
Yeah.
So I've weaned myself. Sometimes I go 6 hours and I don't touch the vape. So
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, 6
Yeah.
hours for me, it'd be sleeping. I'd have to be sleeping. I should. I have one. I have it somewhere. I have a nice little blue electronical vape thing.
And-
But then
but
I
you must-
inhale that and it makes me cough.
yeah, but I
'Cause I'm-
don't inhale my vape either. Just
You don't
by the way.
inhale the vape. Maybe I'm gonna try that then.
You know,
The air will
you'd
be
still
cool.
get your inside lining, your mouth still absorbs a little bit of the nicotine, but not the same as it going into your lungs.
I think mine don't have nicotine, my oils.
Yeah,
Oh.
but what are
Oh, I'm
you using? Are you using a vape pen or a proper vape?
I don't know. I have a bunch of them.
Yeah, but
The
do they
last
look like
one,
pens? Do they look like pens or they're little boxes?
mine is a little box. The last one.
Yeah, that's a proper vape.
I better stop the show.
Yeah, that's
Let me
okay.
say good night.
It was a great
and
show.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty interesting. I'm saddened that a few people didn't come, but that's what happens.
Yeah,
That's my baby.
I have different people all the
that's
time and a few
e-cigarette.
regulars, but it will get better as
that's
it goes on.
Oh,
What,
That-
Kat?
That's e-cigarette. Those things give
That's
you
my
a,
vape pen.
yeah. Yeah, I use the little box top one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have something like that too. I don't know. It's here somewhere. I got so many juices. I've been trying for years. I was doing it back in New York, so that's over
go
7
ahead and
years.
stop the live then now, Carol. Just stop the live.
I will stop the live, Joe. I wanted
And
to
we
say
can just continue
goodbye.
talking.
Thanks for joining us, whoever was
Okay.
in. There was a few people in and out. So
Yeah, people are leaving.
take care, Patriots. We love you. Hope you found it
Love you
interesting.
all.
Until the next time.